And apparently Savannah Guthrie said, he said, we would always love to have Taylor play. She is special talent, and obviously she would be welcome at any time. Savannah Guthrie then asked if it was in the works, and he said he can't tell us anything about it. And that wasn't good enough for Guthrie. So it's a maybe, she said. And he admitted it's a maybe.
So she kept pushing him.
Shut the f*** up!
So when will we know? Craig Melvin knew that the question on everyone's mind and asked Goodell just that. He said, I'm waiting on my friend Jay-Z. That's what the commissioner said. He said, it's in his hands and I'm waiting for the smoke to come out. Jay-Z's Rock Nation is the one who produces the halftime show.
Okay, well, that makes sense then. Listen, she's completely qualified, having played stadiums around the world, and that would be no problem for her. What do you think the odds that the Chiefs are going to end up in the
I don't know. I think it's the Bills is for me the top team in the AFC.
All right.
But they were also the top team in the AFC last year. And listen, the AFC is pretty stacked. You got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the Ravens, and then you got the Bengals if they can get their defense together. But this is not a sports segment. Back to you, Preston.
All right.
So I think what Steve is asking is how weird would it be?
Yeah.
If the Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl and she is the Super Bowl halftime entertainment.
Well, listen, the media would love that. People would eat that up.
I know.
All the
it does that. I don't know how that would look. That it was, if it was inappropriate, or certainly she can be the entertainer. But a
lot of people would be like, "Oh, the fix is in."
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows? All right, so on episode 7 of Love Thy Nader.
Is this a Ralph Nader?
Brooks Nader.
Isn't that a Ralph Nader lotion?
It's all about
It's
driving
the new
unsafe.
Ralph Nader reality show.
About Corvairs.
I'm gonna go get my sweater.
So Brooks Nader, by the way, is a model and actress.
And who did she date?
I don't
Ralph
know.
Nader?
Zeb.
Zeb Nader?
No, Zeb.
Zenko.
Not Gleb.
Gleb.
All right, Gleb.
Oh, Gleb.
Yeah.
Gleb. You said.
You got a little Gleb on you.
Gleb. Get a little gleb on your hair.
So her sisters staged an intervention over her concerning use of the GLP-1 weight loss drugs after she nearly passed out in a workout class. Brooks admitted that she upped her dose ahead of a Maxim shoot, saying that she wanted to be extra snatched.
Oh, yeah, I want to be extra snatched. I'm working on my snatch.
Is snatch being used?
I
as a
don't know,
term?
man. Yeah, I haven't heard that applied. When I hear snatch,
Yeah.
I think of vagina.
I'm going to bring that back into my lexicon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Snatch.
But Marissa, has snatched crossed over into another meaning?
No. I mean, it's
Snatch?
like snatch, like hot. Like,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's good. It's
So
positive.
this has
Good.
been in use
All right.
for how many minutes?
17.
17 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, she wants to be extra snatched.
Yeah.
But also,
And I'll take an
I
apple
was like
pie
a
with
little
it.
extra snatch.
Absolutely. When you were a young man, couldn't get enough.
No.
Snatch.
Lots of snatch.
You said earlier in the segment that it's a part of a Maxim photo shoot?
That's what she said.
That's I didn't know that those existed anymore.
Yeah, I think they have an online component.
Okay.
And it's
Like
still
Paige Sporanic was a Maxim.
Maxim's hottest woman ever or something like hottest woman in the world, something like that. Well, she's super snatched.
She's totally snatched.
But
I never heard that.
sorry,
I
man.
mean, to me, that's all. It's just dog water.
You know, I mean, listen, when a term like this comes up, you know, how ancient do I feel?
Right.
I don't know.
You can't keep up with
Snatched.
everything.
Well, here, let's go to our friends at Urban Dictionary where they say, and they're going to use phrases that we all know, but on fleek, perfect,
Right.
on point, fashionable, and snatched is sort of taken the place of those.
By the way,
But how long will that last? A week?
Do you ever hear on fleek anymore?
No, and that's the point.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all
that
of these
came and
things
went.
Yeah.
they come and go, and so now on fleek, instead of saying that, you'll say snatched.
But snatch,
Yeah.
the word snatch,
Oh, you are
bringing it back,
bunghole.
baby.
for the
Yeah.
longest time has meant
Vagina.
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 That was our word in college.
That was your word?
That was our, yep.
Okay. It's a great word. It's like pud. Pud is a great word.
By the way, it's also a movie. Snatch.
Snatch is a word. I mean, a movie. Yeah. And a word.
And a dessert topping.
And a floor wax. So anyhow, so she said she wanted to be extra snatched, but also confessed the side effects left her nauseous and tired.
By the way, this show is trying so hard to be the new Kardashians.
Oh, really?
So by the way, I think they all look better than the Kardashians.
Okay.
But it's got the exact same approach and the exact same execution.
So her sisters apparently found piles of needles and bottles of the drug, calling the situation dangerous and overprescribed.
So I'll guarantee that they did not find those. I guarantee they were asked to find those, and the producers placed them somewhere in the house.
Right.
was
Brooks
like an Easter
pushed
egg
back, arguing that she faces a ton of pressure in modeling with strict body measurements for jobs in Paris and Milan. She said, "What do you think? I'm on GPL1. If I say no to it, they're just going to pick someone else," she hit back.
Yeah, that's
So-
snatched.
While she acknowledged unhealthy habits, Brooks insisted she doesn't have an eating disorder and would stay on the drugs until her photo shoot. She concluded, "I know my sisters are coming from a place of love. I just find that you don't know until you're in that position how to handle it."
So I'm not snatched, but I'd say that I'm snacked.
Snacked?
Yeah, I enjoy a nice snack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the difference.
Okay.
I wouldn't be snatched.
Nope. So she's all snatched up now.
Yeah.
Stay on the weight loss drugs. All right, turns out we've been saying Denzel Washington's name wrong, and his mom might be to blame. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, the Oscar winner explained it's actually pronounced Denzel. That's how you say it, Denzel, not Denzel. We have a clip of him talking about this.
My name's not pronounced Denzel. My name's pronounced Denzel.
Oh.
I'm Denzel Jr. My father's Denzel Hayes Washington Sr. I'm Denzel Hayes Washington Jr. My mother would say, "Denzel," and we both show up. So she said, "From now on, you're Denzel."
So his mom made the change.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't think of that name. I think Denzel sounds cool.
Yeah.
Denzel to me sounds more Hasidic.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
I think of Denzel and Gretel. Hansel
Denzel
and Gretel.
and
Yeah.
Gretel.
Gretel, Denzel.
Denzel Washington and Gretel.
Denzel's all right. Kimmel laughed it off, calling it smart, and he also noted something else.
There are currently 4 players named Denzel in the NFL.
I know.
And before your...
There's a lot of Denzels now.
There weren't that many before your first Oscar. There were 0 in 1987.
And this is how you know they named themselves after me.
Yeah, and it wasn't until Training Day came up, and then, people started naming their kids Denzel.
I just watched that again.
Great movie.
The bitches, you've got to catch it on a like Flicks or something where it's unedited because otherwise. But I mean, they're both so good. Ethan Hawke and Denzel are tremendous.
Now that scene where he drops him off at the gangster's house
Yes.
is so damn tense.
Yeah.
It is. You think it is destined.
Oh, this isn't good.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
yeah.
And how it turns around
Yeah.
is brilliant. I love that movie, but it's an intense film. Yeah, you got
I
to
like
be in the mood for
the
it.
scene where he gets him. You got to try. You got to use. To know what it's like.
Oh yeah. He
Really?
makes him try the narcotics because he's an
Yeah.
undercover agent, and he has set him up.
Yeah.
It's wild. Denise Richards is gearing up for a tense courtroom showdown with estranged husband Aaron Vipers, and his mom is on the witness list too.
She also revealed that it's Denise.
Oh, instead of Denise?
Yeah.
Denise. According to new documents, Denise wants Aaron and Patricia Vipers to testify in her case to make a temporary restraining order permanent. She claims Patricia will testify regarding communications with Denise regarding abuse perpetrated on Denise by Aaron. Denise's court documents also say her own testimony could last 6 hours, while she expects Aaron's to run about 4 hours. Sources close to Aaron told TMZ, why wouldn't he testify? He's got nothing to hide. He never laid a hand on her. She's a liar. The source also pointed out it was Vipers who filed for divorce on July 7, 2025, after Denise's repeated promises of ending her alleged year-long affair. It's clear both sides are prepping for a messy fight in this. Richards also has a temporary restraining order against Vipers and previously accused him of years of domestic abuse, including choking, slapping, and threatening to kill her. She also accused Vipers of stealing private images and violating the restraining order. He has accused Denise of Vicodin addiction and said that he feared for his parents' safety after a tense confrontation at his family's home, and he has denied all abuse allegations, so it's ugly.
You need to remember she was married to Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Who?
And did none of this with Charlie Sheen. So if you're going to compare and contrast,
Yeah.
I mean,
Charlie Sheen.
Suddenly looking a bit better, aren't I?
Yeah. I actually have a Charlie Sheen story.
Sheen.
I
So
went
we're-
to go watch that documentary yesterday. It's not available till the 10th.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, we're learning more about him, about that upcoming autobiography on Netflix, the documentary, including how he has actually been one of Hollywood's most charitable celebrities. Sources told TMZ that even though he's going through some money troubles now, during his 2.5 Men days, he donated between $26 to $30 million to different charities.
What?
Those organizations included Cancer Research, Autism Speaks, and projects serving the homeless population.
For the price of a Kia Coke, you could send some coats to the homeless.
At the time, the donations were all made anonymously, so no one knew that they were from him.
Hi, I'm Charlie Sheen. Did you know that most Shih Tzus will eventually get whooping cough?
The insiders say that Charlie insisted on the anonymity as he didn't want any of the credit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll listen. I desperately want to watch this.
I watched the trailer.
Yeah, it
because
looks pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
as I went to go watch it last night, I was like not available to the 10th, and I was like, well, I just need a little taste.
Well, you know,
So I watched the trailer. I was like, all right, I'm in.
this is one
Yeah.
people say, oh, it includes warts and all. There's nothing but warts.
I know, but
throughout
so
this.
what they do in the trailer, he goes, there's only one person you can tell, or he's like, I think he says only one person can tell the story, and that person is, and then they go, it's Denise Richards, it's John Cryer, it's Lori, it's all these people. So there are a ton of people who also are part of this biography.
Yeah. So Emma Myers, the actress who we know played Enid Sinclair on Wednesday, was just as surprised that Lady Gaga was joining the show as you were. She said, I think it was during filming season 2. One day somebody mentioned it and I was like, what? And they were like, oh, you didn't know? And she said, no, I did not know. She said, I thought somebody would have told me something that big. It was kind of out of nowhere. Myers was also so excited for Gaga to get on set that she was literally counting down. She said the entire time I was like, okay, 10 more days until she gets here.
I love her, and she has
I do too.
another show on Netflix that I want to start watching. Have you dabbled in that yet?
No, it's the one about how to be a teenage murderer or something like that.
Yeah,
I forgot.
it's a
came
mystery.
out a while back.
Yeah.
But I want to watch it too because they've expanded her role quite a bit in this second season, and she's really cute and really fun. And yeah, I like her. I want to see her in more stuff.
Yeah.
So, but Wednesday we watched the new episode last night.
You finished the run?
No. How many are there in this second release? 4.
So there's
there were 4 in the first,
and
we watched the first one last night. I'm all in.
Yeah.
We are loving it. Have you watched it all?
Oh, yeah.
You watched every bit of it?
Every bit of
the
it.
second part too?
No, that won't come out until close to December.
No, the second part came out yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I thought, no, that I didn't, and I did not
Yeah.
watch. I thought it was happening around the holidays.
No, so it's out now. You can catch the next phase of it. So we watched the first 4, and then we watched the first new episode of the second run last night. Yeah.
Is it 8 total, I guess?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do not know, but I will. Can somebody check on that?
Because the last time there's a cliffhanger where I don't want to give away too much.
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder
Oh, that's it.
is
All right.
what that was called.
Well, I love it regardless.
Yep. So let's see. James Gunn has officially announced Man of Tomorrow, the next project in his Superman saga, in a post to social media. The reveal was accompanied by a drawing of Superman leaning against Lex Luthor in a green and purple mech suit drawn by DC head Jim Lee. Gunn has previously teased that his next project will feature characters from the hit Superman movie, but it won't be a direct sequel. It's not known what the story will be at this time, though there is a Superman Man of Tomorrow animated movie from 2020 that featured Lobo, and that movie was based on the Superman Birthright comic book miniseries from 2003, which was a modern take on Superman's origin story. So Man of Tomorrow is set to head into theaters July 9th of 2027.
So the word is Jason Momoa will be playing Lobo.
Yeah, but that's in the Supergirl movie.
Right.
So I'm not sure if this will be a part of this movie, too.
And just getting back to Wednesday real quick, all 8 episodes of Wednesday season 2 are streaming now.
All right, there we go.
All right.
So let's see here. Ed Harris is joining the Dutton Ranch.
Nice.
In the spinoff of the popular series Yellowstone. The actor will star alongside Kelly Riley, Cole Hauser, Annette Bening, and Finn Little. The Dutton Ranch follows the lives of Beth and Rip as they look after their
Squirt and Squirt and Pud.
Snatch.
Snatch.
Yeah.
Snatch, Squirt, Pud. Whole family's here.
to look after their 7,000-acre property
And here comes Skid Mark.
while raising their son Carter. Harris will be played by...
Where's Dribble?
We'll be playing the vet Everett McKinney, who helps out the town with compassion and humor.
I guess Wes Bentley's character doesn't make it all the way through here because I didn't finish. I didn't finish the series, so
I get the impression from what I've heard peripherally that he does not finish out the series.
Real quick about Ed Harris. I rewatched Maverick not that long ago. I wish there was more Ed Harris in Maverick. Like he's
just
up
in
at
the beginning.
He's there for a little bit, and he's really good. He's friggin' Ed Harris. He's one of the best, and then they just don't bring him back for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Ed Harris, I think, is the whole reason why The Rock is so good. That movie.
You need he is a villain, but you understand a bit of his villainy and what he felt, and so David Morse is in that as well.
You know what I love him in? We could sit here and go off on Ed Harris forever because, the right stuff and all that. But as far as playing bad guys, A History of Violence.
Oh, my
wow.
God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow, he's
Doesn't
good
get
in
worse
that.
than that.
And it's a small role. It's like a supporting role, and he comes in, and you're just like, that dude is scary.
Yeah, and he sat right there one time.
He did.
He did. Right.
Yeah,
in
he was
the studio.
I thought it was in the old studio.
The old
yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
He was in for a Pollock.
Yep.
No, actually.
Oh no, it was the
About Beethoven?
yes, that was it. Yeah.
But we told him about Pollock because the first time I saw the title of the movie, I thought it was, pardon the term, Pollock.
Right.
And I'm like, how, the
can do that?
audacity
of
naming a movie that.
very pejorative.
All right, Laura Croft is officially heading to Prime Video with Sophie Turner stepping into the iconic Tomb Raider role. After months of speculation, the series is locked for January 19th production start. 3 years after Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge first signed on to develop it. Turner joins a powerhouse creative team with Waller-Bridge as creator and executive producer Chad Hodge, co-showrunner of Shogun, Steve.
Yes.
And director Jonathan Van Toleken. Fans can expect a globe-trotting adventure that reimagines one of gaming's most iconic heroines for a new generation.
I enjoyed the Angelina Jolie movies. I thought they were pretty good. I thought she was perfect for Lara Croft. I enjoyed the, I'm having a brain fart of the
I know who you're talking
Alicia
about.
Vikander.
Yes. And she was good. The video games had a reset. And they had the one that was Preston, the origin story, the one that was really when she was developing her chops. That video game, I forget what that was called, but that was tremendous.
Yeah. So they could maybe, it still hasn't. The movies, like you said, they're good.
They're good.
But I haven't.
We need it great.
Yeah. So maybe Sophie will do it great. We'll see. One last thing. Kelly Clarkson is back. Her Emmy Award-winning daytime talk show returns for season 7, Monday, September 29th. Production will be kicking off earlier in the month. The season will open with a tribute to the Texas flood heroes and is set to feature a stacked guest list, including Julia Roberts, Dwayne Johnson, Reese Witherspoon, and more. She's also making a return to The Voice this fall, rejoining John Legend and Adam Levine on the all-winners coaching panel after stepping away last season to be with her children following the loss of her ex-husband.
So we were talking about Benson Boone, and I guess Benson Boone was on the trajectory of American Idol, right?
Yeah.
And then he got signed and whisked away before he even completed the run.
Yeah, so I just found that out yesterday that, he made it to Hollywood, but at that time was given a record deal.
Yeah.
And he was like, see ya.
Yeah.
So if you stop and think about it, Kelly Clarkson,
Carrie Underwood.
That's it, right?
Well, the ones that have become megastars.
Yeah, megastars.
Yeah, absolutely. Some have had, fledgling careers that kind of came and fizzled out, and good performers, great singers, but it just goes to show you it's a lot more than just having a good voice to having a successful career. All right, here are clips for you. Twinless follows two grieving men who form an unlikely friendship after meeting in a twinless support group. Here, Dylan O'Brien talks about personifying two characters.
I don't know, I think for me it's very physical. That helps me as a way in, I guess. And so everything to me is just like, how would this one live versus the other, I guess.
What does a twinless support group mean?
I watched the trailer for this, and I'm not going to watch the movie because just by watching the trailer, I'm like, oh, I know how this ends. But essentially, it's a support group for twins whose siblings have passed away.
Okay.
all right,
Didn't
that makes
understand
sense.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I thought, is it like a science fiction where everyone has a twin and if
No.
you don't, you're the anomaly?
No. It's set in normal.
All right.
A normal universe. It's just like
I guess that losing a twin might be even more impactful than losing a sibling.
Right.
it's like losing part of yourself.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. Okay.
You remember the story? Elvis had a twin, apparently,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that supposedly haunted him all the years of his life.
Yeah, died at birth, right?
I believe so, yeah.
But watch the trailer and then let's have a discussion afterwards.
All right.
Because I don't have to watch the movie now.
Imagine if there had been two Elvises.
Wouldn't that be wild, man?
You know, would he have been?
Let's do Ebony and Ivory, man.
Would he have been as famous had he had
Probably
an
not.
exact twin? Probably
not.
Weren't there two Dewey Coxes too, and then one got chopped in half?
Yeah,
killed the wrong boy.
Killed the wrong son.
Killed the wrong son.
That was tragic.
Let's have machete fights.
Twinless opens tomorrow.
I just watched that again.
Oh,
It
my
is every
God.
bit is great.
It's so good.
And you know who's kind of an unsung hero in the movie? Eddie Vedder.
Oh my God.
He comes out.
He gives a
he gives
speech.
this ridiculously reverent assessment of Dewey Cox.
Yeah. And of course, Neil Young is the great sage Ezekiel.
It's so pretentious and
It's so
obnoxious. It's
awesome.
wonderful.
Next clip. Peacemaker Season 2 is already living up to the action and the absurdity of its debut. And here John Cena talks about the repeating of the infamous opening dance sequence. Here we go.
We really didn't know what was going on, and we felt awkward and unsure, but then, and it comes out well, and especially resonates with the audience, the folks who were in season 1 were like, yo, we got to bring it for the dance. And I will grade the people on a curve. It was their first experience. It's awkward, and at times it feels absurd, but at the end of the day, the intro is fantastic, and they only show the good takes.
New episode of Peacemaker airs tonight on HBO.
Do you know who's part of that dance sequence in the beginning of the series, Preston? And part of the series is Frank Grillo.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
And he was talking about he was nervous as hell to do that dance number.
So he's in every single one because they open the show, or is it just one?
So he's in the opening credits for season 2 because he's part of he's flag senior.
Well, my question is, I'm sorry I didn't articulate that properly. Is it the same dance sequence for every episode, or is it a different one
Same
every
dance
episode?
sequence.
Okay.
Each season has their own. Well,
Gotcha.
there's only been 2, but this one is a little bit more ballady. The year 1 was really
I remember that
80s
one.
hairband kind
Right.
of sound. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's our entertainment report for you this morning. We have a break to take. We have some guests joining us today, including David Duchovny. He's going to be on the show. Actors Cameron Douglas and David Morse will be checking in, too, amongst other things that we will dive into, and the back-to-school A to Z. Of course, we're in the I''M, I'm portion of the I's. What will be next? You'll find out when we return. a story about sending a text, I think, that you wanted to share with us, right?
Yeah. So it was somebody sent me a text, and it was, somebody.
Thanks, Kat. There was this story. It's making the rounds, and it's actually a professional baseball player. Anthony Bass plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. And, you hear discussions about plane etiquette all the time as far as, sharing the armrest and taking your shoes off and all these other things.
And not pleasuring yourself?
Pleasuring yourself.
Can't
And
do that.
so there's a little bit of a controversy or a discussion or debate that's been popping up after he had tweeted about his recent flight saga. And it actually has to do with his wife. So the 35-year-old posted on Twitter a photo of his 2 toddler daughters on a flight playing on electronic devices. And you can see popcorn strewn all over the seat, all over the floor. And in the accompanying caption, he wrote, by the way, his spouse is traveling alone, and she's 22 weeks pregnant. He explained that the flight attendant on the trip had, quote, made his wife clean up their kids' food mess. And he voiced outrage over the situation. He wrote, the flight attendant on United just made my 22-week pregnant wife traveling with a 5-year-old and 2-year-old get on her hands and knees to pick up the popcorn mess by my youngest daughter. And then he wrote, are you kidding me? And so he obviously thought that was out of line for them to ask her to clean that stuff up.
Right.
And people responded to that. And I'm curious as to how you guys would respond.
So in the studio here, there's a picture of what it looked like around the area. Mm-hmm. And what you all have kids. I do not. So
I mean, when you have a kid, if you take it to a restaurant, take it. Take the child.
What is it?
Take your baby or your whatever, your toddler to a restaurant. A mess is inherent, right? It's going to happen every single time. It happens on planes. And Steve, as a parent, you are responsible for at least making an attempt to clean up that mess, right?
All right, you just hit it. That's exactly what. So as a non-child owner,
right?
You don't have it.
But that would be you make an effort at least.
Yes.
To clean up, to police the area a little bit. And I think somebody would say, here, let me help, or maybe the staff would assist. Just that alone gets you across the finish line.
And it's embarrassing, quite frankly, like especially at a restaurant, because you know that it's going to happen and you don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
But also you are aware of the fact that if you have a toddler, it's going to happen. So just do the best you can to prevent it. And then when the mess inevitably does happen, clean it up as best you can.
The children were eating ribs.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, I wouldn't even try to prevent it because you can. It's going to happen. However, you do more than try to clean it up. You clean it up.
All right. I had a feeling.
Case, you're seeing this, and because this stuff is strewn obviously around and could be. It's not like, they're asking to resurface the chairs.
And listen, I don't think she should get up every time something falls on the floor. But like at some point, yes, so sorry. Let me, pick this all up.
Looking at the photo, I could see if the mom was sitting in the chair, she may not see, she may see one kernel that we can see in this photo. And if they pointed it out to her, I think I would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that they just made a mess like that. I'll clean its mess up. No, but I agree. I think you clean it up. If you had a couple little errant, if you didn't get every single last one,
right.
that's acceptable. As long as you get in there and you just start doing some cleanup. And there were texters, for the most part, did side with the airline. The overwhelming amount did. But some did go the other way and think that, no, it's and somebody had posted like, what, if your kids make a mess at the movie theater, do you clean that up off the floor? Actually, yeah. Yes.
So I get. So the point of some of the detractors are saying, well, after they get off the flight, people come in and clean the thing. But as you said, Nick, you don't just say, "Wow, they'll get it."
Yeah, they'll get it. I'll make a total mess.
You have to make an
on.
attempt. But there are. I mean, it's like there are two different people. There are the people that are like what we're saying is like, yes, you have to attempt to clean it up. You have to clean it up. And there are people that just don't think you have to, and that it's not your job. Like, yeah, you paid to eat at the restaurant, so now you're going to leave the mess for the server to clean up. Like, there are people that just that's how they see it.
I know.
It's weird.
Yep. And flight attendants obviously were commenting quite ferociously about this.
I've seen people, and my heart goes out to them, like at restaurants where the kids making a mess or spilling over stuff, and then and literally getting down and cleaning up stuff and picking up stuff off the floor. And I've never seen it's you feel so bad because I think parents tend to feel 10 times worse than they probably need to be if the kids are making a mess. And I think most people understand and go, I got it. I understand it's hard to corral this. To me, it would seem they seem very embarrassed.
Most people do.
Yeah.
Some don't.
I know.
Some do not
I know.
care.
But I also, listen, I was never embarrassed or anything. And this is like something that I tell my brothers who have new babies is like, don't shelter them because they're babies and don't take them to the restaurant. I think that's why I can go out to eat and go to a restaurant is because I took Jace from the second he was able to go to a restaurant. Like
I taught it how to behave.
No, seriously though, honestly. And like, I will say sometimes if like, he's like lounging I'm like, you're at a restaurant and he sits up because he's used to going to restaurants and he knows how to act in a restaurant.
Same with us. My parents would take us out. We went to restaurants, and this is how you behave. This is what you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, did we screw up? Yes, but we got that course right from the beginning.
Did he get this flight attendant fired? Was there a follow-up?
Okay, so there was a follow-up, and his response was he posted an update informing his followers that United Airlines is taking care of matters with the flight attendant internally.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know, right?
So he's getting somebody's job.
But that's also him saying that. Like,
well, but if he's not saying that and it's actually the truth, and said flight attendant is now facing
right, but I'm just saying you don't know
actions.
if it is.
Okay,
there are aspects to this story that are unclear.
Yeah, like people like that who are gonna just throw that out there.
Well, Kayla wants to comment on this real quick. Let me go to her. Hi, Kayla. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Kayla?
So I just want to say I follow Sydney and her sister, Jessie James Decker. She's a music artist. She was married to football player Eric Decker. She still is, but he's no longer playing football. So she had posted about this yesterday before Anthony did. And I don't think it was that they wanted Sydney to clean up the popcorn. It was the way in which the flight attendant approached her. What I saw Sydney and Jessica originally posting yesterday was that the flight attendant came to her with a wipe. It was like, oh, the captain wants you to get every single drop of popcorn, which is kind of unrealistic when you're on a plane with 2 toddlers and 22 weeks pregnant. Like, obviously she was going to do her best, but to have her, like, it was just kind of more of an embarrassing situation, and the way the flight attendant went about it and what was said to her, like, you need to get every single drop.
By the way, how would the captain know? How would the captain know?
I'm sorry, sir. We have an issue in the...
We have a filthy child that's dropped popcorn all over the floor. Someone needs to kill it.
Tonight, get started. Big deal, obviously. With the hoisting of banners and celebrations and playing the most loathed team in the history of this city. It's all coming together. It's a culmination of events in the sports complex today.
It is a maelstrom, a confluence, if you will, of all the things that stood in direct contradiction to the advice that unless you have a ticket, you go down.
Yeah.
Only people ticketed people. We knew that was going to be an uphill battle to begin with. And then with all these elements, it's going to be crowded down there. Now we have the last minute savior stepping in for mass transit.
Right. Oh, yeah. With FanDuel.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, after the parade, there's this NFL season, the off season. So after the parade, it was like, okay, free agency. Okay, then the draft, and then they're going to release the schedule. And when they released the schedule, and we found out that it was we were kicking off the whole season on Thursday night in front of the entire world, and they're going to raise the banner. Like, it was chef's kiss perfect.
Anybody with even a modicum of FOMO, who is an Eagles fan, and that's pretty much axiomatic, in this area, I don't understand it. For myself, I would prefer to stay away and watch it remotely.
Yeah.
But there's some people that just, like you talk about, tailgating that just have to go do it. And Nick, you'd mentioned yours. I think Casey, you did as well. Going down and just tailgating, even without a ticket, just to be a part of it.
Yeah, younger people like to do that. I don't necessarily think older people like to do that, like your 30, especially 40 pluses.
Yeah.
But like the younger crew, Yeah. I mean, when we were sitting up on that balcony, Marissa was pointing at Stateside Live, formerly Xfinity Live.
Right.
And it's insane the line that goes around the corner for people to go in there for the game. They're not going into the link, and people would just sit there and wait around the corner.
Hey, what is the cutoff point? Because at this point in my life, I would rather have razors on the bottom of my nutsack than stand in that line and wait to get in to watch the game on television in another place rather than watch it on television at home. But I get it. I've been there. I've wanted to be in that building to hang out with people. But where is that cutoff?
Age-wise?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think it's more Bunyan-wise. Yeah, you're like, what are you? How are your fallen arches? Do you want to wait line?
I think it's also the hassle of all the things you go through. Of the traffic and the parking and the meeting up with people, and then you have to just cram into somewhere, and you're just nuts to butts, and you're not moving, and you're watching it on TV. When I could have, my bathroom right in the other room, and all the beer I want without having to wait for it,
or even another bar somewhere, that.
Okay.
I'll be at a bar tonight. Actually, I'll be up at Bailey's in Levittown from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
By the way, that is, and you want to go to this because it's the first of the Thursday night kickoffs that we do at Bud Light. And Nick, you're going to have a chance to win tickets, right?
Yeah, Eagles-Rams tickets, which I think is on the 23rd. And so we're going to do this thing where every 15 minutes you get a chance to draw for the tickets. We'll give them away tonight, so 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's at Bailey's, which is up in Levittown. All the information is up on the events page of WMMR.com and PrestonandSteve.com. But me, personally, I'd rather be in a bar like that. Like, I like hanging out in smaller bars with a little bit more of an intimate group of friends, and everybody's high-fiving and hugging, or being at home. But I understand, and I've been there, where you want to go to an Xfinity Live / Stateside Live and hang out with, I don't know, 100,000, however
just
many
to
people
be
it is.
part of it.
Yeah,
I've had a few.
The excitement of the crowd.
And to me,
obviously.
I completely get it. Completely get that. And that's why, in case you were saying more than likely there are people in line already, you would say?
I would say that there are people, a lot of times they will line up just on Broad Street because the parking lots don't open until 1:30. But people want their spot, so they will get there early, and they'll have their smokers out, and they'll be smoking their meats on Broad Street, just waiting to get into the lots.
Even though to me it's not my thing, but I mean, I love that it happens. I remember last season, the dude who literally had a supermarket shopping cart, like a rolling barbecue.
Yeah.
And I forget what he was preparing, what is it, ribs or whatever, and selling them.
It was a whole roast pig or something like that. But yeah, that was pretty classic. That was a smart idea.
Listen, I have season tickets, and I didn't go to any regular season games last year. Just my son was playing rugby, and I just had a whole bunch of stuff going on, so I just wasn't able to make it to any of the games. So I got down there for the playoffs, and I feel like the tailgating down there has skipped up exponentially. You have people with inflatable nightclubs, and then
I've seen those things.
We were looking at them. They're not that expensive. They're like $500, and it's just, especially for like inclement weather, and maybe it's not a nightclub, but it's an inflatable.
It's crazy,
party house or whatever.
Yeah.
But and I really want to get over to. I think they're in the H slot. These guys, they're called the People's Bench. And they just brought out a bench, and people do bench presses, and they see, and people are like, I could be, I don't know what the record is right now, but, it's just like 245 or 145 plate on either side, and people try and.
The People's Bench.
Yeah.
Before we continue on this conversation, Joe's on hold, and he's got his kids with him, and they want to say something to us, so let me do that real quick. Hi, Joe, you're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Go Birds! Go Birds!
What's up, Joe?
Go Birds! Go Birds!
Who is all that?
My son and daughter, Jude and Juniper.
Jude and Juniper giving their Eagles endorsement. Are you guys going down later on or no?
We might walk over. My son has a game at 6 o'clock over at Saya. That's the youth athletic facility across from like Cisco down there. It's where the kids play baseball and soccer.
Yeah.
And so you might amble on over. Are you the kind of guys? It's the family in total. Would you just go even without tickets to tailgate?
We might walk over. My son has a game at 6 o'clock over at Saya. That's the youth athletic facility across from like Cisco down there. It's where the kids play baseball and soccer.
And so you might amble on over. Are you the kind of? Are you the kind of guys? It's the family in total. Would you just go even without tickets to tailgate?
Yeah. Just go check out the scene and the vibe and everything, before we head home because we live around the neighborhood and go and watch the game at home,
Yeah, I know.
I like it. Ham. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Joe. Have a great one, buddy. And we
All right,
appreciate you
guys.
checking in, my man. All right. We'll see you.
I was over by Cisco.
Yeah.
Casey, real quick, before you talked about that inflatable nightclub type of thing. If you have one, where do you put it? Because do you have to pay for an extra spot for that type of thing?
There's a couple of spots.
Yeah, that is a couple of spots, but we wouldn't have any issues because we park at FDR and we park right up against grass. So, we wouldn't have to put the nightclub in the lot. We could put
What
it
if you're in a lot, though?
Yeah, but what if people that do it in a lot?
Yeah, that they take up spots. I don't really know how that works. Marissa, actually, she could probably shed a little more light on that because she tailgates in like the Wells Fargo lot, I believe.
Yeah, we always tailgate in the H lot. We are going through a little bit of a change in our friend group, and just as you guys were kind of pointing out, is we had a RV. I say we, it's like one of our friends had it, and we collectively have joined this RV. And then that one died, and we are considering buying another one, but then it's where do you keep it? Where do you keep it?
I thought you just meant the person died, and I'm like, that was very casual.
Then he died, yeah. He was beaten to death with a hammer, but I digress.
Go ahead, I'm
will
sorry.
say that somebody in
So
the
the
group
RV
was
died.
kind of a jerk, so they may have died to us too.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Didn't want to go to the Pringle
That
party, huh?
happens. They're socially dead.
No, but where do you keep an RV during the year? And do you want to keep it close by? We were keeping it in like South Jersey, which is kind of a pain in the butt to go and collect. And we've talked about renting RVs, and there are companies that will literally bring an RV and set up a tailgate for you, and you just pay for it. And they will drive it, which is great because you have a designated driver, and then they'll set it up and they'll leave.
So to answer the question posed here about taking up spaces.
Yeah, so there's many ways to do it, and it kind of depends on per lot. If you have an RV, you have to purchase multiple spaces, and I think there is kind of a situation where you have passes per spaces that you are taking up, or as they have publicized, they would like you to set up your tailgate, in the pathway. But you also have to be careful because sometimes there's cars driving.
You have to drive through the pathway.
It's kind of a craziness. And that is why a lot of times the Wells Fargo Center lots are closed earlier because those fill up very quickly.
Do they have people walking around regulating it at all? Not really, right?
They do.
They do?
They do.
But they
How
give you-
effectively?
I think it's all situational. I think if somebody is trying to get through and they are unable to get to the spot that they paid for, that may spark. It's kind of an unspoken, friendly understanding between the tailgaters and everything that's going on. It's kind of don't be a jerk. If they tell you to don't be there, then don't be there.
I'll tell you
If they tell
what.
you to move their stuff, whatever. But also, if you feed the people and make sure everybody is nicely taken care of, then things go smoothly.
So at the barbecue, you get down there, and this is nowhere near the size of a well-attended Eagles game. But when that lot gets jammed up with people partying,
they do smaller
can't
setups,
move.
but there's like cornhole and tents and some things that people set up in that parking lot. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so we park in FDR, and I think the tailgating in FDR is great. But what I call when we end up walking through the Xfinity Mobile Arena lot, the H lot, I call that the gauntlet because it's insane, dude.
But it's so fun, right?
It is. It can be. And, obviously you get some jerks out there or whatever, but I've had a great time walking through that lot just going like, wow.
In the past couple of years, our friend Jello Man will come through, and there's certain lots where he's kind of allowed to be in. It's private lot because he's also sometimes shooting off Jello shots that have alcohol in them.
Right.
So he has to be cautious about that.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that like the security down at the Xfinity Mobile Arena is pretty wild. They have to think and consider a lot of things.
Do you see them? Are you aware of their presence? I mean,
oh my gosh, yeah, because a lot of people who help out during our Camp Out for Hunger are down in the lot there too. They are everywhere, and they're trying to keep the peace. But I've ridden around on the Jello Man cart a couple times, and and it's just fun seeing all of that craziness.
Right. And I'm sure there's with the larger tailgate setups that there's little competition, little friendly competition
Oh.
as far as who does the better party and bigger party.
Well, and it's funny since when we will tailgate in the H lot, it's a lot of corporate parties. So a lot of people who have like suites and like bigger construction companies and bigger companies will hire caterers to come out and throw the party. So it's us in like this crummy RV, and then all of these full-on 1,000-person, high tops and tablecloths, and they're grilling pigs and smoking, and it is just next level.
Who gets to participate in the food? You know what I mean? Like if you're not with that tailgate party, can you just kind of wander over there and grab a pork roll sandwich?
I think it depends. I think if it's a more casual, friendly, just a bunch of people hanging out, everybody's welcome. But sometimes those corporate ones are a little more strict in making sure that you are
They have
invited.
like wristbands and things like that.
Yeah,
okay.
they'll have like a
I don't
doorman.
know. I don't do the tailgating. I
Preston.
never have. It's never been my thing.
They'll have little like fences and a door
Right.
guy.
I had because we were at Cardboard Classic. And
Right.
we were leaving, and I'm in the parking lot, and I was famished. I was absolutely starving.
Yeah.
And there was a group that had a Blackstone set up out there, and they were making
Nice.
breakfast sandwiches. And I just kind of wandered over, and I'm like, guys, I'm starving, man. Can I have something to eat? They didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
They didn't know that we put this event on, that I was part of the whole thing.
Help this
and
man.
They were like, yeah, sure. Yeah, no
Okay.
problem. We'll set you up. And like one of them was like, dude, that's Preston. I'm like, oh my God, yes, have all the sandwiches you want. But they were
how
nice
generous.
enough, but they were going to offer it up to me, even though they didn't know who the hell I was. And
That's
I thought that was
awesome.
really nice, but it was kind of like, let me size you up for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look okay. We'll give you a sandwich.
I've actually walked into RVs to use the bathrooms, and I don't even know who they are. You know, I'm just, I'm walking in there, and I'm just going to go take a piss.
Well, remember we did that when the old bike race took place. We were on the wall in Manioc.
Oh,
and
yeah. Just
we
walk
just
into a
walked
house.
into somebody's house to use the bathroom, and they were totally cool with it.
I do see in some levels the excitement and being a part of it. I must profess, or after all the years here and being a part of everything and reporting on all this, I knew that the tailgating game was big, but I did not realize, Marissa, we were talking about corporate parties and red ropes and things like that to
I mean, it is cuisine.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you have your junk food and your fried stuff or whatever, but like people take their I mean, where we tailgate, I walked over to a friend of mine, I'll just give him a plug, Fasano. If you remember when we had Joe up on a toilet on a scissor lift, it was at Fasano Concrete. It was right there. So I know this. I go, the dude is doing fresh cut French fries. Like, I was like, they got like the potato slicer and all that.
It
like,
blows my mind. Were you aware that it was this elaborate?
Yeah.
Where the hell have I been?
I've watched the videos of some of the setups and heard the stories from Marissa, who's down there every single game. So yeah, I knew that it's elaborate and over the top.
But that's levels past. I wonder. So, but Marissa, you take like an RV. You got to figure an RV is going to cover how many spaces?
Yes.
Like
So
8?
like I said, well, I mean, it depends on the size of your RV. A lot of people have those trailers and then they'll set up tables. So you are supposed to have a pass for every spot that you are taking up.
What does that run?
technically.
What would that run in an average size RV with a tailgating setup outside?
When we were leaving yesterday, I saw parking for oversized vehicles was $40. That was for a concert. I think for Eagles games, Casey,
I think it's 100.
Is it 100
I think
or
it's
like
100.
$85?
Actually, Marissa, I saw that same sign. I think oversized vehicles for the concert were $80.
Oh, were they?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then normal parking was $40.
There's a chance, yeah.
Yeah, and and I
Which
think
is-
they jack it up for Eagles games.
Which is why it's so important that SEP.04 is funded and it is, so many people use SEP.04 to get to and from the game.
So it's all right.
So we asked this question, like at what point do you tap out? Like, because maybe in my high school and college years, I'd go down, but like I have season tickets, and just yesterday I was like,
really,
I can't go, and so I'm not going to the game tonight. Like the guy
Is it because it's a Thursday night game?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I haven't been sleeping great.
Yeah.
And it's a Thursday night game. And A, I didn't want to go down there that early. B, I would leave early anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? And C, even if I left early, I'm still getting home late. And I'd rather just watch it at home,
I got you.
And I'm
Listen,
happy with that.
We work ridiculously early in the morning, so that's got to be a part of it,
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Doc, who is joining us on the phones. Hi, Doc, you're on the air. Good morning, man.
Good morning, Preston. How are you, buddy?
Great, man. What's going on?
We've been getting ready since yesterday. No.
Are you there yet, or what time are you getting down?
I have a lead crew who have left, and they go down and they do the waiting in line.
Okay.
I drive the RV.
All right.
I have a 35-foot RV that we take to the football game.
Wow.
For tailgating, we've been doing it for 20 plus years.
How many in the group of regulars? I know you get tons of people that come by, but just the core group, how many people?
The core group's probably 15.
Okay, that's a nice group.
So let me ask you, because I think it's great. I think it's awesome that you have this thing that you've been doing religiously over all this time, and you guys get together and you have, obviously tons of memories. Give me an idea on how much it costs to do one fully comprehensive tailgating session.
Okay, just to get the RV there is probably $150. It's $100 to park. It's $25 in gas. The tolls over the bridge. So that gets you in the lot.
Okay,
all right.
And the food and the drink goes off the hook sometimes.
It goes what?
But the food and drink go over the top sometimes.
Okay. So, all right, estimate a nice estimate on what that would run you. Conservative.
$250, $300 in food and beer.
That's actually less than I thought.
Yeah.
And split between how many people?
15.
Oh, is that what we said? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
A dozen, 10 people, 12 people.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Honestly, I was thinking way more. Yeah. So,
Monday Night Football will get a little crazy sometimes. Tonight's opener is going to get a little crazier, dropping our banner and such.
Yeah.
But just as an average, we leave for a 1 o'clock game. We leave at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I love it.
Doc, which parking lot do you guys park in?
We park in D6 in the Wells Fargo lot.
Now, have you always been there? Xfinity Mobile, remember, we have changed that up. Have you guys have you always parked there, or did you have to switch it up at any point?
We've had season tickets since 1986. So we started on Darien Street and went to the Veteran Stadium. When the link opened up, we moved over to the Xfinity lot and have been there since 2003.
That's wild. That's wild.
So last year I had to be down at that building in the Wells Fargo Center, now Xfinity Mobile Arena, for a meeting the day that the Eagles open up their season. And I was just wandering around. I got there before 1 or whenever the lots open up, and I wandered over to the C6 lot. And Steve, this is one of those ones where, first of all, like half the people in the C6 party are Preston and Steve show listeners. They're all like really nice people, but it's a great party. It's really well organized. And they had lanyards for everybody that was coming in. Oh. They had a DJ that was set up. Our buddy E-Rock, was just getting the crowd hyped up. And then at one point, Jason Kelsey comes over and he's like tossing beers out in the crowd. And it was this was the season opener a year ago. And it was freaking insane. And I just was reminded of like the entire culture behind everything that happens in South Philly all day today. And then it'll go until, 12:30 in the morning.
And that was a season opener coming off of a very disappointing season.
That's right.
The season before.
Not a Super Bowl year.
Exactly.
Holy hell.
Yeah, Doc, do you guys ever have any people stop by, any alums or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, we've had players come by in golf carts, and the drum line comes around, the mummers come around. It's really a big family. It's not just my tailgate. It's the other friends. Well, I call them my D6 family.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Tom, has a giant tailgate. A friend of mine, Leo, has a large tailgate. So the whole group of us, there's probably 200 plus people.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm really excited for you. I think it's awesome that you keep this going, and I hope you have a terrific time later on.
Oh, it's going to be a blast.
All right. Thanks, Doc.
I've already been texting. I've already been getting ready to go. My RV's in the driveway, ready to roll out now.
All right, you better get going.
All right, we'll see you, Doc.
Have a good
fun,
day,
man. Go Birds.
Yeah, Doc just mentioned this a little bit. There's something the Eagles have been doing the past couple of years where they will take their little like Eagles golf carts and they will drive around some of the lots, usually the ones really close to the link. So like I've seen our friends Todd Harriman and a whole bunch of players, and they'll jump out, sign, take photos, and then they'll hang out. They'll hand out posters or little like memorabilia, whether it's like chapstick or sunglasses. There's another thing that the Eagles have been doing is teaming up with local artists. You may see them on Instagram. They'll put posters out for every game, and then the Eagles will actually print a couple hundred of those posters and hand them out around the parking lots before the game.
I have to wonder, Preston, I know you have the story, but I have to wonder if this year you're going to have a lot of free dude wipes being handed out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
So they're sponsoring the Tush Push.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is a big money deal.
It is, but I don't know how it works. I mean, is it like the Pico power play when they do it? So that's what happens when there's an actual power play in the game.
Right.
So there's no guarantee you're going to get any mentions at all during a game, and then that's when they go on the Pico power play. But the Tush Push is sponsored by Dude Wipes. I just don't know when and where that sponsorship happens. Does it happen during the broadcast? Does it happen?
Is it banners?
I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah.
So if they're smart, and I'm sure this is part of the deal, somebody, as you said, Marissa's going to ride around in a golf cart and give out dude wipes.
It could also be social media.
Yeah, there you go.
Afterwards, they put those videos out, and they can always put up a little throwback just in case there isn't one.
Okay, so a recap of the play, and then brought to you by Dude Wipes. Okay, it's flushable. Flushable
Don't flush 'em,
baby
though.
wipes.
Don't flush them.
Casey says don't
Even
flush
if they're
'em.
flushable, don't flush them.
We got the Jello Man himself, Paul Vile, joining us on the show this morning. Yo, Jello Man.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I'm in line right now for the tailgate.
You are in line.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah, dude, we were on Fox News this morning with this you ever hear of No Fly Zone?
yeah.
Yeah, so I do stuff with them all the time, and we were at Fox this morning. We were riding on the bus with the team, and I had jello shots in there and stuff. But I rode by. I pretty much had to park my car there at where they were filming, and then we drove to Chickies, and I rode my one wheel back to pick my van up.
So this, listen, you are the amount of planning. I mean, you would be a great military general, because the amount of planning that you put together and have to still remain fluid with for all these events that you participate in is mind-boggling. So
a lot of logistics, if you will.
A lot of logistics. So overall, how many, for example, for today, how many man hours have been spent in preparation for today?
Dude, a lot. And guess what? A lot of hours making jello shots. And I went to Sammy's house the other day without asking and made 1,500 jello shots. And he came home. He's like, oh, okay. So
1,500.
I have a 4-foot whisk. And Sam was stirring for me at the end when he came back, watching Charlie, the baby.
Yeah.
And also at Sammy's house, I borrowed a shopping cart. Actually, remember the shopping cart that I surfed on last year for the when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yes.
So I rearranged that system, and I made it into like a stunt cart, and I put wheels on it so it actually rolls like my jello shot carts, and I put a spark maker for doing like wheelies, and it makes sparks.
Oh, I love those things.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's cool. Send us a picture of that.
I want to ride Marissa on it.
Yeah,
All right.
Marissa.
She's game.
There's an offer right there.
Marissa is accustomed to the cart riding.
He actually complimented my little bow and arrow shooting skills, by the way.
Oh, very
So good
nice.
Getting those to
Very
people.
nice.
Come out to H-Slot. I'm going to be at the Philly Tailgate. They've moved to the H-Slot, so I'll see you over there.
Hey, by the way, Paul, we were looking at a video on social media of you putting the shots together. What size refrigerator do you have for 1,500 jello shots? Or do you have
I'm going to tell
extra?
you my secret.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a secret. Right? All the answers are under your nose. Like everyone wonders that. It's so, because in the American, I can't talk it now. The American experience, you're used to putting it in the fridge, right? Like,
yeah.
But with me, I'll make 1,500 shots. I push them into the cooler. We snap lids on first, and you just dump ice in the cooler. So I have like big, like 120 quart coolers, and you basically just drag them away after you're done making them. You never put them in a fridge. You just they're like luggage.
And
you know,
that's
at that
cool.
point.
And it's cool. The ice is cool enough to
genius.
Let those things set.
Yeah,
Okay.
genius.
Think about it. Think about what we're talking about now. You're talking about ice, which is colder than inside a fridge, and you surround them. And then, of course, now the shots, when you just dump them in there, they're kind of like, they look out of level and stuff. They're all different. Like, they don't look flat. They're just kind of like, however they lay in there, they just turn to Jell-O and whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm always really impressed because you work your way into different festivals and concerts and all over the place. And a couple of weeks ago, I saw that you were hanging outside Helium Comedy Club, and Sarah Sherman from Saturday Night Live came out, and you started giving her rides around. And so, like, the fact that you're just doing this kind of for fun, but there's a sort of side business to all of it, it really is impressive to me.
I rode her on my back, too. You see that?
I did, yes.
All right. Well, have a safe, awesome day and night at the complex, Jello Man. It's great to hear from you, brother.
All I'm going to say is, next time I see you guys, can I ride Preston on my back?
Yeah, man. Hell yes.
Sure.
Done and done.
Yeah. We love it, man.
All right, Paul. We'll see you, man. Thanks, bud.
All right.
That's the Jello. Hang on. One more time, Casey. Jello.
Can you sing it?
Jello.
His one-wheel skills are pretty good there, too.
Those things make me nervous.
By the way, side note, we had at our shore house a couple of weeks ago, I noticed there was a tray of Jello shots in our refrigerator. And we have a refrigerator in the garage. And I was assuming that my son Carter put that together because his friends have been by there. They've been in there for a couple of months now. I finally asked him, I'm like, hey, did you guys make Jello shots or something? And he goes, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I have a tray
of Jello shots,
mystery Jello shots in my refrigerator, and I have no idea where they came from.
Did you go through a Jello shot phase?
No, I never liked them.
I know people that love them.
Yeah.
I actually do like Jello itself. Obviously, I'm not a drinker.
I think that's part of it. I'm not a big Jello fan.
I don't like Jello.
That's why I never really got into them. Yeah,
They're great for tailgates because you can just kind of like offer them, and they're safe, right? They're closed up. They're just a friendly peace offering.
Yeah.
In the tailgate.
Can you get roofied with the Jello shot?
I mean, you can get roofied with anything. I mean,
Sure,
Also,
yeah.
be careful out there today.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that kind of story going around.
I wonder with what. Oh, I'm sorry, Preston. With what you were saying about the different lots and about the progression, are there people in certain lots and certain locations that enviously look at other locations and wait for people to cycle out?
I think you're proud of your space. And that's why people are there early, because they are claiming their space, and you kind of claim it for the season.
Right.
And then you have your neighbors, and if maybe you're running late, you may tell your neighbors, hey, we're running late, save our spot. Or if somebody, just out of the blue decides to throw a tailgate, the neighbors will say like, hey, that's Preston's spot. You might want to move over or something like that. Like, it's kind of, it's protected. People have their spaces. But as you said, Steve, there's always opportunities where there might be a Flyers game and they'll close off some of the lots. So they,
so
then
your
you have
regular
to
spot,
move.
you got to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing, Preston, if you stop and think about it. Think about during snowstorms with the chair holding spaces and all that stuff. There are the full-blown brawls and assaults occur. I'm amazed. Everything seems to run, at least by my reckoning.
We probably don't hear all the stories.
That's why I'm wondering. I was out of the loop on these huge catered tailgating events. Maybe I'm missing the manslaughter that's going on.
Hey, Marissa?
There were years when they would invite fans to come down and plow and shovel the lots.
Yeah, they did that when the Eagles won the NFC Championship game against the Falcons. They had done that. People had gone down and shoveled. They had to shovel the whole stadium out and stuff. So, crap, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, no, there's a guy that we tailgate next to named Rob, and he always saves us a spot.
Wow.
Every single
Love
time.
that.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, well, it's on, people.
Yeah.
It's happening. They're there, like you heard Paul say, he's in line right now. There have been people that got there at 1 o'clock in the morning to wait in line to get in to set up their tailgate. It opens officially at 1:30 today, so
And our friends at Philly Tailgate, if you are going down, you're thinking last minute, they are throwing a tailgate. You can buy tickets, and it is food, drinks,
Philly Sports Trips.
Philly Sports
Philly
Trips.
Sports Trips.
Thank you. Philly Sports Trips are going to be in the H lot. It's full service. Just come on down.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right, well, go Birds, and we'll let the song ring out the end here. Coming back with the Back to School A to Z Bizarre File. It's up next. Stay there.
Oh, I feel like they use that all the time. Like the captain said.
Captain doesn't know what's going on.
Captain doesn't know there's popcorn on the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure the captain didn't know, but I think it was just the way the flight attendant broached it. Like, you must get every single drop. Like, not just, hey, get what you can. Like, we understand she's 2. And it was also popcorn that United had given to her. It wasn't like she brought it on the plane herself.
I'm still thinking you got to clean it up.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
But
sure. It wasn't that she wasn't going to clean it up. It was just the way that they went about it and were, like, adamant that they wanted her to get every single drop and, not.
They should have said Colonel instead of
not drop.
Because that's what probably confused her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pregnant. She's got baby brain.
What are you talking about? No, but I mean,
right,
so I
thank you,
think
Kayla.
both sides sort of, now listen, it doesn't give you carte blanche to be rude.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't, in this particular post, he didn't indicate anything about them being rude.
I also think like anyone with kids where this is happening, they know, and you just got to hope that they're going to get it. Like to say you need to clean up every last thing. Like who says she wasn't going to? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you can't wait until they're off the plane to find out that they didn't.
Oh, you follow them home.
I mean,
I think I was going to follow you, did you?
I don't side with the lady whatsoever. And Kayla, like, she's calling in like she was standing there listening to every single bit of the conversation. And
there's a flight attendant at the front door.
Yeah, and she wasn't there, so she doesn't know. And I'm just looking at the mess there, and you just clean up after your kids. I'm sorry that you're pregnant and that you have 2 kids with you, but
Right. I agree. You almost sounded like Joker a little bit with the first one.
You want to know why there's popcorn on the floor? Because it hasn't been trained properly.
Let me go.
And he carved a smile in my face.
Let me go to Jeff. Hey, Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Ed. How are you guys?
Good morning, Ed, buddy. What's going on?
All right, so I have 4 of those little things that tend to follow me around everywhere.
Yeah, right. Damn things.
So by like kid 2 or 3, you kind of, like Nick said,
Yeah.
It's not like you want this to happen, but this is going to happen.
Yes.
There's no avoiding it. So we always just kind of plan ahead. When we sit at a restaurant, I'll get a couple napkins, unfold them, and put them on the sides of the high chair. And we have for when we fly and everything, we have travel little map.
Oh, we're losing you.
Travel.
On there, you just bundle it up,
Little
and
mats.
dump it out in the trash can, and move along.
So
Yeah, you should be prepared for the mess. Yeah,
I
agree.
flew, Jeff. I flew. In fact, was it flying back from
Florida?
Florida. There was a mother and a kid next. This kid was like, mother.
Oh yeah,
like a more traveled.
I was sitting in front of you,
right? Yes, this kid. You heard me. I kept saying, "What is this? A dwarf?
It was
This kid is better traveling than adults."
If you're traveling
Thanks,
with a child or a toddler, inherently, my heart goes out to you because it's a chore, right? And there's also that part of me that, like, when I'm on the plane and I hear the baby crying, it's annoying. Like, if I want to go to sleep, I get the fact that it's going to get under people's skins, but as a parent, there's very little you can do to control that. Your heart has to go out to the parents.
Shell was a pro at traveling with our kids when they were babies.
She was such a pro.
She had a system.
She would help out other parents on the plane. Your wife would come on the plane with treats for other kids.
She didn't want me to fly with them because I would mess up the system.
Yes.
Yeah, I kid you not. She
It's
preferred
stressful.
it when we
I don't
flew
want you
separately.
there.
Yeah.
You don't know how to treat them. Preston, this makes me think of this hilarious. I think it's the pilot episode of Modern Family. Cam and Mitch, the gay couple have adopted a kid. They're getting on the plane. They don't know how to travel with the kid, and so they and so they're I think it's Cam is feeding the baby some treats, and so somebody walking by goes, look at the baby with the cream puffs, and so I forget which one is Cam and which one is Matt, but the one is the lawyer. Gets a gay couple with
cream puffs.
and he's feeding him cream puffs. And then, I think Cam gets up and goes, we'd like to pay for beverages for everyone.
All right, so here's a different side of this conversation that somebody texted in about. So This says, my husband gets peanuts at the Phillies games and drops all the shells on the ground under his seat. It bothers me so much, but he acts like it's no big deal.
You know what? So here's the deal.
I'm a
you
hypocrite.
actually raised a
That's
good
what
question.
you do there.
Yeah.
Like, you remember the ground rounds?
Of course.
That was part of their thing?
That was their thing. You could throw peanuts on the ground, the shells. It was no big deal. It's expected.
I went to a urologist who had the same policy.
Wow.
That was the same policy, you know. A medical waste. No, but so that at a ball game,
Peanuts,
do you collect up your peanut shells?
and sunflower seeds. People spit them out.
How
you
do they
know.
clean up the seats? Because I've never
Isn't
actually
it the-
stuck around to see how all that stuff is done.
A leaf blower, right?
Is it a leaf blower?
Don't they come through and like literally blow down the sections?
Yeah.
Would you hold on to the shells and put it in a cup or whatever?
No,
or
no, right on the
No,
floor.
I do the ground thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
because it's
Total
it's what
hypocrite.
everybody does.
You just like when talked about this woman, she has to clean up.
Well,
Now
that's
you're
the-
tossing peanut shells at your feet.
but I
it's
wouldn't
at
do
a
it on a
ball-
plane.
It's at a ballpark.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of
still.
Now, I also
now I would put it in
listen,
a cup, Kathy.
Hang on, I wouldn't leave my empty beer cups and other
Right,
trash.
Stool.
But and I'm facing my hypocrisy here. But peanut shells, they go right on the ground.
Oh my God.
Absolutely,
They're biodegradable.
They're biodegradable.
Yes. You're outside.
It's good for the environment. We're making compost over here.
Yeah.
I do keep it in my area. Like I will try not to do it to the row in front of me.
I'll tell you the delineation. If you're eating peanuts or popcorn in a theater, you're not going to.
No.
You're not going to do that.
Yep.
Because that's indoors. This is an outdoor park. I can understand the gray area there. I probably would still, put the shells in a cup or something, or on the person in front of me's head.
Yeah, so I was a busboy, I was a waiter, and I also cleaned the cafeteria at college, right? So after lunch and dinner, I would clean the cafeteria, and that one pissed me off because when you go get your food, you get it on a tray, and when you're done with your meal, you take the tray and you put it right. There were racks for you to put your trays, and nobody would ever do that. So this is not me bitching about that, but it gave me more of an appreciation. So I tend to clean up after myself. Like if I go out to eat with, whether I'm with the children or not, I will, when I'm done, kind of like stack and put everything
it on the
together
tray.
and
put it on the tray and bring the tray back up. That's what you do.
We try to make it as efficient for the server or busboy as we possibly can. It's just something we've always done. I mean, Rochelle was a server. I worked in a restaurant. I was in the kitchen. So
you're pre-bussing.
We kind of pre-bus the table. I don't fully do the wipe down or anything like that.
No, but you'll refinish
but I
it.
collect everything. Yeah, we'll put a little lacquer on
I
it.
sand it
We'll
down.
stain.
You got to sand it down first.
Yes.
Right.
Then you got to clean up.
Yeah. Hang on. I want to go to Steph, who is a server. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning.
Morning. Sorry to bother you at work.
Nah. What's up, Steph?
So I'm a server. One, I want to agree with Casey. That girl has no idea what went on that flight. She was not there.
All right.
Okay. Second, I watch people all the time come in with kids. 1, 2, 3 kids. Sometimes it's just 1 and 2 parents, but the kid will outnumber them no matter what. Mess everywhere. I see them start to clean up. I'll usually stop them because they made the attempt. Just making the attempt made me happy.
Okay.
In fact, I like when they just wipe it right on the floor. It's so much easier just to sweep it up. I'm okay with that. But at least try. At least try.
So what we said earlier, and I think that's it. Just that effort alone for you, and you deal with this all the time, makes all the difference in the world.
That's right. Never
All right.
be presumptuous. Thank you.
All right. There we go. See, from
Appreciate it,
a
Steph.
professional.
Hang on here. Pat has a comment. Hi, Pat. Good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, what's up, Pat?
Patrick. I just wanted to say, on the other end of it, when a flight's over, I mean, they do clean the planes, right? In that situation, I see a pregnant woman, there's a mess on the floor, and I'm an employee there, I'm probably going to talk crap about them behind their back, but I'm probably just going to grab a vacuum and clean it up before I go tell a pregnant woman to get on the floor and clean it up.
So Pat, you're the passenger who's supposed to get onto the next plane, right? And your flight's at 1:30, and you got to wait for the flight attendants to clean up after all the kids that are on the plane. You can't board the plane until the flight attendants clean everything up. So what you're saying here now is all right, well, there's 150 people on the plane. Everybody can make a mess, and the flight attendant's got to clean it up.
I mean, I could probably, with a little dustbuster, clean out my popcorn in about 10 seconds.
No, so what? They come in, they're ready to go, and they can clean it up. However, just would it be too much to make an effort, Pat? I think that's what people are saying. Is that
not at all? Not
Yeah.
at all. But I'm just saying, rather than ended up on the news,
Yeah.
just grab a dustbuster.
You got to understand, there's literally nothing else going on in the world than
Well,
this.
that's the thing.
And that's why it cut through.
It's on the news not because of the flight attendant, but because of the privileged
celebrity.
baseball player.
Yeah,
He's a baseball player.
Yeah.
All right. Well, interesting. All right, Pat. Thanks for your 2 cents. Let me see. I will go to. Hang on a second. Peter. Hi, Peter. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Peter.
No, first of all, as Pierre would say, it could have been avoided. To Nick's point, it's going to happen. Parents, though, can be a little bit responsible, but giving a kid a toddler popcorn is like giving them a glitter bomb. It's going to end up everywhere. And in a public location, come on, man, a little foresight.
Are you talking about on the airlines side?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Because the airline gave him the popcorn.
Yeah.
No.
So something that's more containable as a treat or to keep the kid occupied, anything other than popcorn.
Well, my understanding is they usually hand out to the kids, they'll hand out gravy boats.
Oh, okay. Well, no, listen, any snack item you're going to give to a kid is like that. We're talking about Cheerios. We're talking about, pretzels and things like that. So it's going to make a mess, no matter what. I mean, here, we keep calling these kids it. All right. Well, thank you, Peter. I appreciate it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's not trained.
It's angry.
That sounded horrible. Oh, my God. I will.
You spilled it all over the floor.
I have Mike. Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? What's up, Mike?
How you doing?
Good. What's up, buddy?
A bunch of years ago, when my son was a lot younger, we were shopping at Acme, and he accidentally knocked over a display and knocked over a bunch of stuff. So he looked at me, I looked at him, and I said, you know what you need to do right now, right? He said, clean it up. I said, that's my boy.
There you go.
He started cleaning it up. No muss, no fuss. Next thing I know, a woman comes around the corner, sees what's going on, and chastises me because my son's cleaning up his own mess. And she started to clean it up for him.
Wait, was this was a customer, a fellow customer?
Yeah, just some random person.
Was it a woman? Does a woman just butted into your thing?
What's that?
A woman just started criticizing you out of the blue? Was that who came around the corner?
I think we lost it. Yeah, it was a fellow customer.
Yeah.
Who said that? I'd mind your own goddamn business.
I'd punch her right in the face.
Yeah, that's basically what I said. I was furious. I looked at her. I said, he's my son. Nobody's upset. I'm not yelling. He's simply cleaning up his mess as if he was home.
No, that's your business. You told him to do the right thing. If somebody knocks over a display, you're supposed to at least again make the effort and try to do that. Yeah. You were right. Exactly. She was wrong.
And I looked at my son. I was like, thank you for being more mature than that person was.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mike, I hope you follow
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, get your nose out of this guy's business.
Listen, Preston, have you ever? I've seen adults knock stuff over and walk away. Not even kids.
Yeah.
The other day, so I'm in Acme, and if anyone Acme has wonderful chocolate chip cookies, and then they have these smaller versions now that are perfect to have with tea. So there's in one of those plastic containers, where all four parts of the corners the little dimples have to lock for it to hold. So I'm walking around, and of course I have a little bit too much in my hands, and it falls on the floor. Yeah. And I'm like, so what? Yeah. This is how I did it. And you can tell me whether I'm wrong or not. I collected up everything. I put it back.
All right, thanks, Chris. Case, you got a charity plug, a butt plug, as we call him on the show?
No, it's a shard out. It's just a shard out because
he pointed to his ass, and he's like, me, and he pointed to his butt, and I'm like, you got a butt plug.
But I went like that. I didn't go in. I went out.
He gestured with his hand outward.
Yeah.
That's the semaphore.
But no, I just want to give a shout out based on our last conversation. We have a friend of the show. His name's Ron Templeman. He's our jobber earbud guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, so he's also he loves to tailgate and barbecue and stuff like that. And so they were listening to that segment. The Hungry Dogs, they are there now, and they were smoking their meats, their ribs and stuff like that. They're right there on Broad Street. So the Hungry Dogs, just a shout out to the Hungry Dogs in C6.
By the way, the jobber earbuds, phenomenal.
Love them.
All right, so I'm gonna do a butt plug, and this is a really cool email. It says, "Hey guys, you rock. I've been a listener since my first job, landscaping. At 14 years old, became a fan of fan from the older guys that I worked with who listen. And now I'm the director of a local nonprofit recovery community center, which is based in Manioc, and it's called Unity Recovery. We have a range of recovery support services to individuals either in or seeking recovery from substances or mental health. And we were drastically affected by the federal funding cuts that happened back in April. And we had to lay off over 20 employees and shut down entire programs that were built to help people in recovery in our communities. We reopened some of the programming on July 1st, but had to change the services that we offer quite a bit. Currently, we have a weekly schedule of daily activities and groups available to anyone in the community to come and enjoy at no cost. These include everything from board games to women's empowerment groups, mutual aid meetings, and more. Nothing we offer costs a dime. We're fully grant funded. And we throw an annual community day every September for Recovery Month. And this year, it will be in Pretzel Park on Sunday, September 7th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's going to be fun for the whole family, including bounce houses and carnival games. And again, all free. Any mention you can give us on the air would be awesome. I'm a podcaster and typically listen a day behind, so I should hear it at some point. And if I don't, then that's fine too. You guys rock. You are a part of my daily routine as I drive an hour and a half each way to get to work.
Wow.
Love you all. That is from Chris Golding. So what a great endeavor these guys have.
Terrific. I love
done.
Pretzel
So
Park.
We appreciate that. So here's the butt plug for you guys, and that is coming up on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I think it's just wonderful that organizations like that exist, and they're holding on tooth and nail with all the cuts that have happened. So you guys are doing the right thing. You're doing great work. So thank you for checking in. All right. Let's do the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by The Bagster. You can buy yours now at any home improvement store. Just $29.99. You fill it up, they pick it up on your schedule. The Bagster, dumpster in a bag. Buy, fill, gone. So we'll start with this story out of Louisiana. A judge has ordered the return of electronics belonging to an ex-Roman Catholic priest who pleaded guilty to obscenity for being caught having sex with two dominatrixes atop a Pearl River church altar while still belonging to the clergy. This happened back in
I can explain.
This happened back in 2020.
I can explain.
However, the judge also told authorities to erase all data from the devices and storage media as a precaution against videos taken from the tryst becoming public.
Oh, I'm going to want to keep that one.
The ruling came in the case centering on Travis Clark as well as dominatrix whose professional professional names are Lady V and Empress Ming. The videos in question have been under indefinite court seal ever since the trio's encounter made international headlines in 2020. Among other things, the videos depicted a communion wine chalice being urinated in.
Oh, my God.
The videos also depict Clark wearing a style of underwear typically worn by women, as well as engaging in a sex act in a dormitory on the grounds of St. Peter and Paul Church, which he once served as a pastor. Clark, Lady V, and Empress Ming all fell under authority scrutiny after a passerby peering through the window saw the three evidently filming themselves having sex on the sanctuary altar. Police responded to the church after they were called by the passerby, who took a cell phone video of what he could see. Besides arresting the group, officers confiscated stage lights, recording devices, and sex toys.
We were practicing for the living nativity.
Clark ended up serving. So this is the staff.
Yeah,
of,
there we go.
Yeah. So Clark ended up serving some jail time after he was found to have violated his probation terms by giving an interview in which he had explained the episode from his perspective. He told the station that he did the interview with that the celibate life, which Catholic priests promised to lead, along with the social distancing practices implemented during the pandemic at the time, left him facing, quote, issues of loneliness and wanting human interaction.
You could just play checkers with someone.
He said, struggling and falling, sinning too. Priests sin as well.
Wackadoo, wackadoo.
He went on to say that he still believes in God and continued considering mercy and forgiveness very important. So he's dealing with that.
That's a tough one.
A 19-year-old Chinese university student named Zhao Dong became temporarily paralyzed after spending too much time with his head bent forward looking at his phone and working at a summer job.
I've heard about this. They warned about this.
The student spent hours each day looking down at his device, playing games and browsing social media, then got a summer job washing dishes where he kept his head bent forward for long periods. At first, he started feeling numbness in his neck, arms, and legs. But on July 30th, he woke up with no feeling in his legs, couldn't move at all. Doctors found a large blood clot in his spine.
They gave him a legs.
That was from pressing on his spinal cord and causing paralysis from the chest down. The constant head bowing and had ruptured a blood vessel in his spinal area, creating a dangerous blood clot. But luckily, doctors performed emergency surgery to remove the clot and prevented permanent damage.
I mean, honestly, this is like where the meta stuff would really help. You know, the virtual reality stuff. So you wouldn't
Oculus.
Have to be, Oculus. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's never a good time when you're on a plane without working toilets. It's even worse when it's international flight and there's no landing that's possible when you're over the ocean. Virgin Australia has issued an apology to passengers when no working restrooms turned the flight from Bali to Brisbane into a filthy, humiliating nightmare. During the 6-hour flight, passengers had to resort to using bottles, sinks, doing their business on top of whatever was already stagnating in the toilets, or even just relieving themselves on themselves.
Listen, I don't know how demanding a maneuver it would be, but could you fly down close to the water?
Yeah.
Open up a
the
door.
Yeah. You can depressurize the cabin at that point.
You can do it. Throw out those piss bottles.
All passengers were issued a flight credit to go along with the apology, but it seems like an allowance of fresh clothing may have been in order as well. All right, and then we'll do one more story, and then we will wrap it up. A man allegedly ran over a woman with his SUV on their first date after she refused to let him sniff her feet and used sneakers.
So he ran over her.
The victim told police that she met 28-year-old Amansi Sersel on the dating app Seeking. Now, Seeking, formerly Seeking Arrangements, initially gained popularity as a service to connect wealthy individuals or sugar daddies or mommies with younger individuals looking for financial or material support or sugar babies. Seeking explicitly notes that this behavior is prohibited on its website, saying the site is distinctly different from its original model and is instead now intended for building genuine and aspirational partnerships.
Yeah.
So Sersel
exactly
met the victim at the Serena Hotel, and he immediately asked to smell her feet and purchase her used sneakers.
I would like to build an aspirational relationship, but first, may I sniff your ass?
She said, when I got there, he just wanted to sniff my feet, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. I mean, you can have my sneakers all you want. I don't care. I'm not wearing them. They're just old sneakers, but people like weird things. So the victim reportedly told Sersel that she would sell him her shoes for $1,000. But that she left them in her car and would have to retrieve them. She ascribed the high price to her occupation as a foot model.
Oh, there you go. You know that world.
And said that that was her going rate for the shoes.
$1,000 for worn shoes.
Yes. So when the victim momentarily stepped into the bathroom, she said that she spotted Sersel sprint out of the hotel room and assumed that he stole something from her. She told officers she chased the man into the parking lot and watched him jump into a red Mercedes SUV. Sersel allegedly made a 3-point turn and then hit the victim with his car, running over her and leaving her with road rash and bruises to much of her body.
Did he damage her feet?
I don't know about that.
That's her moneymaker.
I don't think so. She said, I've never experienced anything like that before. I've met a lot of people who have foot fetishes, obviously, and nobody has ever done anything to this caliber.
That's why you left the industry.
It was getting too weird.
It was getting too much, too weird.
She went on to call the experience extremely bizarre, and Sersel was arrested and charged with aggravated battery over that.
Did you say your name is Sersel?
Wow. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we shall take a quick break. We'll come back in a second, and we're in the eyes of the back to school A to Z. I, letter I, not EYES. But we will have more songs that start with the letter I.
I like your eyes.
When we get back, stay with us.
The bar code off of it, and and went up and checked out too because I dropped one of their things they were attempting to sell and made it unsellable. And so that's how I did it. I've seen adults.
They didn't make you pay for it, I'm sure, right?
I paid for it at the self-checkout just for the hell. I felt bad that I ruined a product. I know that might be a bridge too far for some people, but cleaning it up was the thing as well.
Right.
And man, those cookies were rolling all over the place.
I broke a bottle. I was at a liquor store, and I went back into the cooler because they had beer there too, and I had a bottle of gin, and I dropped. Or no, I went outside. Actually, I went outside. I had just bought it, and I dropped it. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! I broke this full bottle, and I brought it back in. I'm like,
look what your bottle did.
They said as long as the seal wasn't broken, that I could get a replacement.
Oh, nice.
So it was. They.
That's pretty nice.
They have that in place.
Did you pick up the pieces of glass or whatever? Or?
I couldn't. I mean, I told them that I made a mess, and of course they were going to. I can't go picking up glass. I don't have a broom or the dustbin.
What I can do is give you a free commercial on the radio show.
Hang on a second. Hold on now. Chris is a flight attendant. Hi.
All right.
Hi, Chris. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's up, Chris?
So I'm a flight attendant, and kids come on all the time and make a mess. So do adults. But I would never have them clean up the mess. I mean, we talk about them afterwards and say what slobs they are and love to see what their house looks like. But we never get them on their knees or even ask them to clean it up. We just talk about them afterwards.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So
do you think this flight attendant was out of line to say? And I don't know how they said it. I don't know if they said, "Oh, ma'am, could you please? Your kid made it made a terrible mess here. Can you clean it up?"
Goodness, I would never ever going to adjust it. I just talk about it and afterwards.
Well, let me ask you, Chris, what is the one thing that passengers can do that are guaranteed to make the flight attendants talk about you? What do flight attendants hate the most?
Oh gosh, taking their shoes off, constantly getting up and down or leaving the overheads open.
Okay.
And leaving a mess. I actually had an adult that went and he came on and he was mad and he ripped up the entire safety demo card. And I saw him doing something, and I thought he might have been doing that. And I thought, I'll just clean up his mess later. And he was just angry about his seat and everything. And as he was deplaning, he threw it all up as confetti, and it went everywhere.
Oh, my God. What an idiot. Hey.
So it's not just kids.
And he did this just because he wanted to, or he thinks that the safety features are a joke, or we have no idea?
He's annoyed about his seating.
He's annoyed about his seating. Okay.
So you tear up the safety card.
But wait a minute, the shoes thing? Come on, man. I have like little slip-on shoes.
In
fact, I just took them
model.
off. I just took them off right now.
I don't care what people think.
The planes are cleaned, they're not really cleaned well. And, when you get to a city and you have a quick turn, you're lucky that we get all the trash out of the seat pockets before we have to board everybody.
Right.
Also, they're adults. They can keep their shoes on, Chris.
Oh, no. No, they're not.
No, I mean, honestly, you, Kathy, Chris, whoever, you guys can think and say whatever the freak you want. I don't care.
As long as
long
as your feet don't smell.
Yeah.
So what?
Do you know, though? Are you nose blind?
I am not nose blind to my feet.
I'm taking my shoes off. I don't give a crap.
Mine are off right now.
Well, Chris is a professional, says to keep your stinky feet in your shoes.
I'm with you, Chris.
Tough crap.
I don't have
them off.
stinky feet.
Yeah.
All right.
Come down with ice on, spray your feet.
Yes, spray your feet with Axe body spray.
You don't even use soap
That
to
would
wash
be worse.
You don't even use soap to wash your feet. Don't say they're clean.
There is soap that travels all down my body that eventually ends up on my feet. My feet are squeaky.
Chris, Preston does it. Kathy says Preston doesn't wash his feet.
He doesn't.
Can you imagine that?
He lets the soap run down his legs.
It just runs down his legs.
She knows.
Exactly. I think though they also give you the little slippers so you can put them on, right?
No, I don't want slippers on. I want my socks.
You slippers.
Well, you're just in your socks. You're not your bare feet. Then you're fine.
Exactly. Yes. I don't take my socks off. I'm not an animal.
Casey
Come on,
probably
man.
does.
Casey, do you take your socks off?
No, and I resent you for saying that, Kathy.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Chris.
They should give you slippers, though, right? Like as long as we're tossing stuff out there.
Excuse me. It just took its socks off.
I don't know. Slippers?
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Do you guys ever wear them?
I did once.
Yeah.
I hated them.
What, on the plane or at home?
No, at home, around the house.
Slipper season. Hell yeah.
Right now?
We're coming out of.
Yeah, we're coming out of slipper season.
We're in flip-flop season now.
I never wear.
Casey, I can't believe he just asked who wears slippers.
I wear
Casey-
slippers.
Casey and I wear the same UGG slippers. If you don't wear slippers, you have to get these and you'll wear
Okay,
slippers.
I do like slippers.
Yeah.
I will wear
I'll
the
try them out.
sneakers or wherever my footwear was, unless it's like formal stuff.
Yeah.
I'll switch. You don't know if a deer is going to come jumping through that window.
Right. You
You got to be able.
But that's why you keep your slippers by the door. You
No, you gotta wear them.
sneakers by the door.
I can go outside with slippers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
totally.
these
In
are
an
these are like
emergency.
rugged outdoor indoor slippers.
They're tactical slippers.
Yeah. These are, and those are, I would say, more of the colder weather slippers.
Sure.
I have warm weather slippers as well.
So do cold weather slippers, that coincides with sweatshirt season, right?
I think so.
They're the same, like hoodie season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yellowstone
are
pajama
cold.
pants season. Yes.
We're working our way into foot bath season, by
Real
the way.
quick, I just want to ask Casey one question because I think here's where we're going to separate. Do you wear those? Do you actually wear those slippers outside?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
Not like
now we're on different pages.
Well, like to take the trash out or something like that.
Take the
If it's
trash
chilly,
out
you got to run
or-
outside real quick, go get the mail,
Stomp down the mulch.
Or
Yes.
if I'm like I got to go pick somebody up from not class, but like practice or something
Oh,
like
she
that. If I'm
just
gonna be
got
in the car.
side-eyed by Kathy on
I'm
that.
like, you're driving.
pajama pants to Wawa.
Yeah, but that's what the
Oh,
kids
dude,
are doing.
I want to have I want to get a group of people to go to Wawa in pajama pants because it's very freeing.
Talk
I
is
love
cheap.
it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Let's do
Let's
it.
rent a bus of people. We'll get rent a bus. We'll get everyone in their pajama.
Yep.
And socks, no shoes.
I would love to do that. All right, hang on. I want to go to Todd, who worked in a store that kids would frequently mess up. Hey, Todd, good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today?
Good, buddy. What's going on?
So I actually have an interesting story. One of our beloved Philadelphia Flyers, I'm just going to keep his name private.
Okay.
He came in with his wife and his two little crotch goblins, and the kids were running all over the place. They were throwing pillows all over the floor. They had like cookies or.
This is a mattress store that you work at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and look, it's expected. You know, I've had it a million times where people come in and they throw pillows around.
Right.
It happens. You know, I get it. But the idea is, like, at the bare minimum, tell your kids, pick the stuff up.
Yeah.
Or make an attempt to just, before you leave,
Yeah.
follow them around and pick stuff up.
Sure.
That's all you ask.
When they left, the like I said, our beloved Philadelphia Flyer, and his wife did nothing to pick anything up. They walked out. Now they bought a lot. I was happy with them because they bought a lot. I got a good commission from it. But
Were they
still,
French
like,
Canadian by chance?
they were not.
Okay.
That narrows it down.
All right. Well, yeah. So you left. They left, and you had a bad taste in your mouth because it was just disrespectful.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, I think
It's a courtesy.
you're obliged,
I
even
agree.
if you're a Philadelphia
Thanks, Tom.
Flyer.
Yeah.
Your kids, if your kids go in and do something, you need to correct what they've done. If it's knocking down a display, if it's sullying the reputation of the NHL, it's what you do.
Let me see here. It's Eric that we're going to go to next. Hey, Eric. Morning.
Hey, good morning, it.
Hey, good morning, it buddy. What's happening?
Hey, congrats to Marissa for getting married.
Pass along your love.
So I used to work in customer service, retail. I work in construction now. Shout out to Glazers 252. But I was raging to Nick through the text earlier. This Anthony Vass guy. What gets me the most is the entitlement, like the basic human decency of just pick up after yourself. Teach your child to pick up after yourself. It's your job as a parent. And Nick, you can check the stats on me. He can't even do his own job as a closer in baseball. He can't do his job as a parent. He blew up online. This dude's failing. He's a trifecta of failure.
All right. So if he were an effective closer, he'd get a pass.
And now he's going to, hopefully, if anybody working at United is listening, I hope this person doesn't get fired because of this dude's fucking.
Okay.
He's fired up, Eric.
Fargan.
Oh my God, I'm so
No,
sorry.
no problem. So, Eric, let me ask you: would it if the flight attendant was rude, would that change your perspective of this?
Okay, so I understand there's probably, three sides to the story. What the flight attendant says, what Anthony Bass says, and then what actually happened. I'm sure what really happened is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
But how he came across in posting, like what he did on Twitter, it just ruined anything that could have gone in his favor. And to top it all off, if you go back and check his Twitter, he posted a picture of his kid holding a bag of popcorn, like, oh, look at my cute little kid, like, as a deflection. Like, come on, dude.
Well, no, I agree about the nature, the tone of his original post seemed a little pompous.
Yeah. And by the way, you're right, Eric. His ERA is like 7.36 or something like that. So
it's terrible. And the fact that he doubled down on it, saying, oh, I got, they're going to take care of it internally. United, whoever's listening, please don't let somebody lose their job because this guy can't teach his kids how to clean up after themselves.
Okay.
All right.
No, I agree.
Thank you,
At least a
Eric.
4-year-old, right?
Thank you, Marissa. Hey, I have a correction to make. Something I talked about earlier. We were talking about Eagles tailgating. I said when I was at the Cardboard Classic that I was starving and leaving, and these people fed me as they were tailgating in the parking lot. And I said I had a breakfast sandwich. Well, according to John Early, actually it was a smash burger.
Oh, it was a smash burger.
Yes, he said you had a smash burger at our tailgate on the way home. Yes, John, you were the guys I was talking about.
Yep.
I just mixed it up with breakfast sandwich, and it was a damn good smash burger, may I tell you. And speaking of tailgating, if you're not going to be a part of all of the craziness that is around the South Philly Sports Complex, you can head to Levittown and join Nick McElwain tonight. It is the first of the Bud Light Thursday night kickoff parties. You guys have been this has been going on for years now.
Yeah, I mean,
with our show, and you always come back with these great stories.
There's so much fun. It's first of all, to have the first one be an Eagles watch party is fantastic. But we're also giving away tickets to see the Eagles play the Rams in a couple of weeks, and you have a really good shot at winning. We do this thing where you got to select a key, and if your key fits the right lock, you're the winner. And we give away those tickets tonight. So we're there from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And there's just always really cool prizes associated with the event.
Right.
And I think I went to this bar maybe 2 years ago. But anyway, we always do have a lot of listeners come out in Levittown. So if you're anywhere near Bailey's and you're an Eagles fan and you're going to go out and watch the game anyway, swing by. Stop by. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight.
So some of the things you guys will be giving away include the Kelly Green MMR shirts, koozies and things like that, and $3 Bud Light aluminums. And I love this new tagline they've come up with for this event, Nick. It's always a Thursday night, always 7 to 9, always giving away Eagles tickets courtesy of Bud Light. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, if you're not going to the game or watching with friends, or you want to come and hang with MMR, that is a perfect opportunity. You could walk away with tickets to a game.
Yeah, they're a blast.
Pretty sweet deal. All right. We haven't done this in a little while with days off and whatnot, but I think we need to dust off Survey Says.
Yeah.
There have been loads of surveys that have happened that I haven't had the chance to touch on. I love sharing these things with you. We're going to start with this one. There was a survey of 2,000 U.S. adults, and it's about whether or not people think they could get all of their work done in a 4-day work week.
Could you get all your work done in a 4-day work week?
Yeah, could the things that need to be done. Now, we're different because, I mean, we throw out our content 5 days a week. It's what we do. So could we do it 4 days a week? Absolutely. Yeah, most definitely. But there are some people that have like deadlines and product goals to meet and so on.
Much different. Yeah. So we clearly could. And I assume what their thought would be is that you're in those 4 days, you're doing a 4-day, 8 hour a day.
Correct.
Schedule.
Not expanded hours.
Like
just the hours you work now, 4 days of work instead of 5. I read another country is moving. Yet another one has gotten on board to 4-day work weeks, or about to.
I've read that production actually goes up under this model only because people are more rested and they feel like that they can get their stuff done in a shorter amount of time, and they're more productive. They're better employees, and they're also more dedicated to their employers because they don't feel as burnt out. So if there's no burnout and they're doing their work, why not move in this direction? I think it's good for the employees and for the employers.
Do you find you're deadline based? When you work?
I feel like
more productive when you're deadline based.
I feel like I'm daily based. I feel like the stuff that I need to get done, I need to get it done on a daily basis, and Usually around like Friday at noon, I slow down for a couple of days and then I pick it back up Sunday evening.
I don't know if I would be good, Steve, if it were a company enforced deadline on me. I put my own deadlines.
I agree. I do the same thing.
That helps me. That's why, like, by the time we do our conference call at 6, like, no more. I am done for the day. I try to do it.
Drinking time.
I try to do a lot of times. I try to do it before then, but by the time like by 3, 4 o'clock, I'm done. I want to give myself a couple hours before we do our conference call. But after that, I am not looking for any more work at all.
So it's funny because my wife Claire, as you all know, she is deadline based, and when I see when there's a thing on the calendar, and she'll kind of get distracted or she'll be nervous. And then I said, this is not the way you operate. Yeah. You operate when you have set dates, times on the calendar, and then she kicks in and just kills it every time. But she needs that, you know?
So 69% of the people surveyed believe they could be just as productive in a 4-day work week as they are when working 5 full days.
Do you know, and here's the thing, depending on, so obviously in the summer we'll take the Mondays off, it makes Sunday so much more enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
And also,
I count Sunday as a half work day.
Yeah.
You know
So do I.
Yeah. Half of it is work.
Tell me why I don't like Sundays. I don't, you know, for the most part. I mean, it's obviously, it's relaxing, but still, I'm spending a good actually, now I've ported it over to Saturday in the evening.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do as much Sunday night. I kind of start Friday afternoon after the show's over. I start picking and finding stuff.
Yeah.
And then Saturday I get up in the morning. It's the first thing I do. I start looking for things, prep Bizarre File, all the features that we do. I try to find content. And then I don't want to dive too much into my day, but
it's interesting. I
do gathering, editing, and sorting are what I do, and I do them in stages, and it takes a few hours a day.
It's what you do
outside of what we do here.
You consume a ton you read a lot, and it's funny. That's why the Audible books became a thing for me, is because I spend so much time reading just papers and stuff that might send over to you for the different features, and that's how it goes. But yeah, I think so. At this point in our lives, and having worked a lot, 9 to 5 and then some, do you think the 4-day work schedule, the 4-day a week work schedule, is something the nation as a whole could shift to?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, do I think we could? Maybe could. Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
Do I think we will? No.
No, I don't do.
Millennials, by the way, but only 29% say that they would be able to do their job in 32 hours of work instead of a full 40. So most people think they can do it. The overwhelming majority think they could do it. Millennials are the generation most likely to support a 4-day work week, with 75% saying they'd be down with it. Gen Z is followed, and Gen X by 70%.
It's like the scene in Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, if you don't mind working 40 hours a week.
Less than half of baby boomers support the idea of switching to a 4-day week as well. So with the idea of getting one weekday off, which one would Americans pick, though? Friday or Monday?
Okay, interesting. I think I am a fan now of Mondays, but I think most would pick Friday.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, I agree. I like the fact that we take Mondays off in July and August. But given our druthers, and we do that for a reason, it makes it a little bit easier for weekend travel and so on. But I think Friday is what people prefer. Yeah, 55% said that over Monday, 24%.
And again, the way we reckon time off is different than, if you have it like, depending on what kind of shift you work, the realization of time off really occurs the evening before, when you're not going to bed early or having to adjust everything.
No, I think Fridays have a decent vibe at work. Mondays are the ones that suck, so I would rather not work that day.
And Friday gives you Thursday evening, which is me, I'm no sad broing About a half hour.
Yeah.
From now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's Thursday.
Yeah, but I like football, right? So football on Sundays, and you get 1 o'clock games, you got your 4 o'clock slot,
Yeah,
and you got your
yeah.
Sunday night football game. Like, I would love to just be able to enjoy all that, stay up and watch the game, and not have to worry about waking up for work on Monday.
Definitely works for the football fan. Absolutely. All right, survey says our next topic is, where do you most often clip your fingernails?
Oh, I know exactly where.
All right, your choices are in the bathroom, in the bedroom, in the living room, in the kitchen, outside, somewhere else. I never clip them, or not sure.
Not sure. How are you not sure where you clip your nails?
I clip them right here.
Casey, did most of the time you do it here?
I would say 95% of the time.
At work is not one of the choices here.
Yeah.
No, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I see. He's got a trash can right next to him, so
Okay,
it's
he
perfect chance to
takes
do
care.
that.
I do it
On the
over trash
bathroom.
can.
You do it in the bathroom?
Bathroom.
Nick, where do you clip your nails?
Usually in the bathroom. However, the last time I did it outside, and I found it to be
Was it liberating?
pleasurable.
You don't care where it goes?
I feel so free.
Yeah.
I'm clipping my nails.
It's like sneezing outside, and if nobody's around,
I just sneezed.
well, if you have the freedom to sneeze wherever you want, you have a quick look up at the sun, and then you let that sneeze go, you are liberated.
Sir, what are you doing way up there?
I'm clipping my nails. Nick, I had a full-blown whiplash, didn't give a rat's ass sneeze in our parking lot yesterday morning because
So
I
good.
get my 2 complimentary sneezes when I walk out into the sun, hands to my side. I almost look like Greg Louganis.
Let it go. Yeah, you're the Peter North of sneezers.
Yes, that's it.
Marissa, how about you? Where do you clip your nails?
Bathroom, but then I have another question. So I clip them usually into a trash can or to a toilet. Matt clips them into the tub.
Interesting. And then
about
he
you
cleans
guys?
them up? Or does he rinse them down the drain?
It probably just gets caught in my hair and I end up cleaning it up.
You said though, Matt
Hair
has
and nails.
He has a different. He says that he occasionally defecates in your vanity.
That's weird.
No, but he does clean out his ears with bobby pins.
Yeah, we talked about that before. We talked about that before.
Wow.
See, I like the idea of doing it into the bathtub because the area is bigger.
Yeah.
And so the only problem with like where I clip my nails is if
An errant one?
like I can't just let that sit on the ground.
Sometimes they mysteriously fly off and you have no idea where they went.
So that's why, like, with Nick doing it outside, he's like, who cares where it lands?
Yeah.
man?
I bought this mother effer of a toenail clipper. I never get that ricochet shot now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it a different design or
The
something?
design is a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it, but it has a little bit more of a sort of an arc to it.
So I have, where I find myself clipping nails is either in the bathroom, but I also will do it. So I have a walk-in closet, and I have like a little ottoman in there that I sit on if I'm, put my socks on or whatever. And sometimes I will do it in there. And I will clean up, I'll pick up the nails.
Wait, but do you just clip them, do you just let them rogue go onto the floor and then pick them up?
Yeah.
Or do you collect them in your hand as you go?
No, I let them go and then I clean up afterwards.
Does your nail clipper collect? Because if you're clipping, mine has like a sheath, almost like a foreskin, if you will. And the nails will go into that.
This is a stupid question, but I have an answer. That's why I'm asking it.
All right.
Do you have a favorite fingernail that you clip?
My index finger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's my ring fingers because I can get really, really short with them, and it doesn't hurt.
And curt.
Yeah.
No, I don't have a favorite fingernail that I cut.
I just clipped my favorite finger.
Do you think people might evolve away from having toenails and fingernails at some point? Because we don't, they probably were claws or digging tools or whatever at some point in our evolution.
Well, you know
think
what?
maybe not.
Oh, you need them.
You do?
Oh my God, yes! For opening, pull tab here, food items and whatnot.
Yeah,
they're still necessary.
Yeah, but 2 of them, like maybe not all of them.
There's a
No,
whole,
not only that, we're going to, if
Maybe your pinky
evolutionary
nail.
scientists are correct, they believe that we will quite possibly generate another finger over time.
and there's a whole industry built around it and for it.
Around nails.
Toes and nails. Like you guys are talking about clipping. I rarely clip because I'll file my toenails and then I'll go get them done.
Okay. All right.
You don't file your nails, do you, Preston?
No, I do not file. My nails are terrible. I have psoriasis, and a side effect of that is your nails get kind of. It's weird to explain. They get kind of wavy in their shape, and they can also get pitted. So pitted.
So pitted.
And so I don't know. I do not take care of my nails. I trim them, but I definitely don't file them.
Do you know it's one of the worst feelings in the world? And I might be overstating this. I assume getting hit by a train is probably worse. But
you might be.
when you've clipped your nails and you didn't quite clip them right, and you pull your sock on and it grabs a catch on your nail.
I have my pinky toe nail on my left foot for whatever reason. It catches the sock thing all the time.
Hate it.
Yep, I agree. Oh, by the way, the survey. Here is the ranking of where people clip and it says fingernails. I think you should include toenails as well. And this is a survey of 5,281 U.S. adults. 40% do it in the bathroom.
Yes.
23% trim their nails in the bedroom. So that's second, followed by third in the living room. And then fourth is the kitchen.
The kitchen?
Actually, no, the kitchen is last at 2%. I don't know why they had that one out of order.
Do they mention elevators?
No. But outside, Nick, is 8% of the people.
Okay.
But I think
I'm
we should
clipping my nails.
We should do an event. Like if we're outside, like the MM barbecue or whatever, we should invite everybody to trim their nails.
We should have a clip off.
We could do a world record.
World record.
People
Nail
trimming their
clipping.
nails at the same time.
Ew.
Camp out for hunger.
Ew.
Yes.
What? What are you oohing about?
Clipping your nails at the same time?
Yes.
No, it is something to do in private around nobody else.
We're doing it at Camp Out
Here's
for
what we
Hunger.
do. And we build a mountain of clipped toenails.
Oh my God, yes. Hang
And
on.
then we snowboard down it.
Yeah, Marissa's not alone in her sentiment because my mom, like, it's a real pet peeve of hers, and she's talked to other friends. Like, she makes my dad leave the house to clip his toenails.
Like gag worthy?
She like Steve. It's like snot for you.
Yeah.
It's toenail clipping. It's fingernail clipping, and it's the sound of it. And then, God forbid, an actual fingernail shows up somewhere. It drives my mom bonkers.
I like the sound of the clip.
I will tell you what I know someone who was reviled by the notion of just picking your nails.
Oh.
Of like under your nails. That was like vomit inducing. Yes.
Wow.
Vomit inducing.
Interesting. Wow. No, I bite my nails a lot as far as trimming them goes. If they're all of a sudden I've looked down and like, oh, these are long.
Yeah.
And I'm not anywhere near a trimmer. I'll just gnaw them off.
Until the pioneers did it.
So 5% said they never clip them.
Yeah.
Maybe they do the
They're
filing
vampires.
Yeah, they bite their nails.
They do. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe
it's
that's
true.
it.
Maybe.
Okay. We can do another survey if you guys like.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Let's go. All right. Let's go with this one. This survey was 2,500 Americans divided evenly by U.S. regions. Were surveyed and asked the question, what natural disaster scares you most?
Oh.
Tsunami.
Tsunami is the most scary to you? Okay.
Yeah, because I'm down at the beach, and I apologize for interrupting there, Nick. I'm at the beach a lot, and I have mapped out my escape plan.
Your tsunami escape plan?
Yeah, because where we are, there's a couple of high-rise like condos, and that's pretty much the only place you can get to. It's not like I can hightail it out of the town, you know?
Yeah, my ex-wife Casey. I was just going to echo what you were saying. Like, it was a paranoia for her. Like, it was something. It was this irrational fear, and I think it actually started because she lived in St. John on the Virgin Islands at one point, and if they ever happen in a place like that, like it can wipe out the entire island. So I think it's just like, I don't know. It's one of these things that if it gets into your head and you're afraid of it, you're going to be afraid for a long time.
I always think of tsunamis that if you get up like 2 stories, you're going to be okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you're thinking logically.
Some are. You know, when you watch that tsunami that led to the Fukushima disaster, that you know, the perception that you have of like this cresting wave is not that. But
Which is quickly rising water.
It's just quick, but its ability
to
move things.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Is horrific.
But it's not like the big cowabunga from down under,
right.
surfing gigantic wave. But like the rogue waves you see on those deadliest catch and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just got to get up a few flights and you're good to go.
Like the 100-year storm.
What? Yes,
50-year storm.
50-year storm.
Yeah.
What is it for you?
Probably no. I've never experienced a hurricane. That is the biggest. I mean, it's so massive that I think that and you have both wind and flooding to deal with.
Would tornadoes?
I think tornadoes are probably a little bit more scary to me,
right?
Because they are they're so condensed and super powerful,
and they don't care.
And they don't care.
Yeah,
they're like a honey badger.
I know what you're saying is that, and I'm trying to think. Do I have a fear? I don't, but I could see like a tornado at night as depicted in the Oscar-winning movie Twister would be something that would be frightening. As a kid, I always read up on. I don't know what a chilling thought. Natural disasters. I found them fascinating.
No, it's not.
They are.
I think kids are fascinated by it. And Steve, to your point, like my son was. Anytime there's ever a windstorm at all, he had a morbid fear that a tornado might show up. And this is, he's 5 or 6 years old or whatever, but it scared the crap out of him.
Oh man, when I was a kid and we'd hear those sirens,
I'm sure
it would terrify me. So
did you have a storm cellar?
We didn't have a storm cellar, no, but we would just head to the basement.
Yeah.
Get down there under a support beam or something like that. So the tornado is number one. 46% said that they are the most. It's the most scary natural disaster, followed by a tsunami at 43%, and then earthquake is on there at 35%. That's a big one.
I always thought the notion, and there is that movie Earthquake, and just in general, being trapped, like was it the Nimitz, the highway, that pancaked the bridge
in Oakland?
Oakland, yeah.
You pancaked onto the lower level.
Yeah,
I mean, being trapped under rubble like that.
Oh my God. Hurricane was 33%, followed by number 5, wildfires.
What about gentle summer zephyr?
At 30%. I don't know if that's on here.
So the wildfires that most recently happened in Southern California, that was really scary. It's a scary look. You know what I mean? Just the glow, and then how a fire can start so far away just from embers,
and then aggressively move. There was a Nat Geo special on this incident that occurred with these smoke jumpers and how they were encircled by. These are professionals; they know how to read the lay of the land, and even they were before they knew it were encircled by, tree-size flames that were just devouring this forest.
And by the way, Wildfire is a great song. Sherman calling wildfire.
We're gonna ride. We're gonna leave.
Who is
you
that?
and I the only.
I don't know who did it.
Michael Martin Murphy.
Is that who it was? No kidding.
I think it is.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
One hit wonder.
Yeah.
Then flash floods at 26%. Heat waves and droughts came in at 6%. And then blizzards and mudslides.
By the way, going back to Wildfire, he dies in that song.
Aw.
She dies.
She dies, then he dies.
He dies?
I believe so.
She went chasing after Wildfire, which is a horse, in the middle of the night, and
she dies. She dies. The horse dies. The horse dies, causing her to die.
Right.
Because she's looking for the horse, and I think he dies.
I didn't know he died.
Because he gets the.
I'll have to go back and check that. Right.
There's been a hoot owl howling by my window now.
When I was in the Grand Canyon,
6 nights in a row.
I was a little fearful of flash floods when I was sleeping, because you sleep right next to the river.
Yes.
And there's nothing you can do about it. So, I basically slept with my arm through my life vest.
All right.
So you could flip the bird.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But that's one of those ones, Casey, like if there can be a storm 45 minutes away and you have no idea that it's coming, especially out west, if you're ever in any of those slot canyons or whatever, it's just, there's nothing you can do.
Yep. All right, well, that's all the time we have for Surreys, because we got some guests coming up. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a second. We'll check the clock, see if we have time to play a song or not for back to school A to Z. If not, we will dive into the fact that we have Cameron Douglas and David Morse joining us, and David Duchovny as well. So we'll break and be back in just a sec. Hang out. 5-year-old can clean up after themselves. Yep, most definitely. All right, I want to go to one more call. We're going to take a break here in a moment, but Don wants to comment. Hi, Don. Good morning.
Morning, guys. What's the word?
Yo.
Nope.
No.
Too late.
All right, so you are you're a ride share driver.
Yeah, I'm an engineer, but in my off time I do ride share, and people get in and they treat these cars like their personal trash pit with their kids.
I'm sure.
They get in, they want to eat food, they want to have chips, and when something happens, they don't say anything, or they're just like, they'll get out of the car. Even the adults do the same thing, and it's just they don't teach themselves. They're not parents to their kids. They think it's somebody else's problem to clean up.
Yeah, and it's the wrong way. I remember years ago, Preston. You remember the Good Charlotte we had on years ago, and one of the guys, Benji or Joe, Or maybe it was their mother who had worked in, a hotel and would clean rooms. And
there were some girls went up and hung out with them in their hotel room, and they were the girls were getting a little bit rowdy, and they were making a mess. And one of the guys, Benji or Joel, goes, "Hey, somebody works here, and they have to clean that stuff up,
right?"
And I think they said, "Yeah, our mom was worked as a hotel, maid or staff or whatever." And they were like, "Don't do that."
Gives you a different perspective.
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was pretty cool. Of them too.
That's why we eventually married those guys.
Be observant of that. No, they got married to Lionel Richie's daughter. Wait,
Nicole Richie and Cameron Diaz. So I always consider us them.
I know. Me too.
Yeah.
All right, I lied. I have time for one more call.
All right.
I want to go to Kendra. Hi, Kendra. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Kendra, are you weighing in on this whole mess thing, or what are you calling about?
I just won $1,000.
It's our concert cash winner, Kendra. And Kendra, you also get tickets to the barbecue as well. How's about that?
That is so great.
Yeah, congratulations.
$1,000 going to buy a lot of popcorn.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And my birthday's Friday, so I can buy myself a nice present.
Oh, that's awesome.
birthday.
Huge. We are so happy. Where are you from, Kendra?
I'm from Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
All right. Thank you, Jersey girl. We appreciate you listening and especially calling in and winning. And we will see you at the barbecue, and we'll give you $1,000 for listening to MMR. All right, Kendra?
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Happy birthday.
Let's hear it for Kendra. All right. Next chance coming up about 1 hour from now exactly, because it is 9 o'clock. So hang in there. All right, Casey wants me. We're going to, do it when we return.
Yes, sir.
We have a concert announcement when we return. So we'll take a quick break. I know it's a lot to take in. We'll come back in just a moment, and we'll get to all that. Stay with us. And Sarah Silverman is going to be joining us as well. Stay put.
Preston and Steve. On 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. As we have stated a couple times, today is April 20th, which is 420. And that is, of course, the international celebration. I assume it's international. I know it's definitely national. Of marijuana and all things pot.
As you're saying all this, I realize, what is the derivation of Ford?
I'm glad you asked that, sir. Because I've got the history of it.
Right.
And I know we've mentioned it before, but it's easy to kind of forget because it's this weird little thing that happened. The most credible story traces to Marin County, California in 1971.
That's it.
There were 5 students at San Rafael High School, and they would meet at 4:20 in the afternoon by the campus statue of Louis Pasteur.
Right.
And they would get high. And they chose that specific time because extracurricular activities had usually ended by then. And the group of guys, Steve Capper, Dave Reddix, Jeffrey Knoll, and Larry Schwartz, and also Mark Gravich, became known as the Waldos because they met at a wall. There was a wall there, and they called them the Waldos.
As simple as that.
So they would say 420 to each other just as a code.
Yeah.
So, if they were in the hallways at school, they'd say, 420, and it was just for them to know. Now, the interesting thing is how it got out into
national.
Yeah. And to become part of pop culture. So,
and I want to find out if it has extended to other countries as well.
That is a good question. Yeah. I'll bet you it has. So Reddix, one of the guys, told Time Magazine in 2017, he said, "We got tired of the Friday night football scene with all the jocks. We were the guys sitting under the stand smoking a doobie, wondering what we're doing there." And it continued long after 4:20 p.m. as well. The group challenged each other to find ever more interesting things to do under the influence, calling their adventures safaris. Safari. Yeah. Sick. Go on safari.
Doobies.
So here's where it started to catch on. So later on, Reddix's brother helped him get work with the Grateful Dead bassist Phil Lesh.
Oh, boy.
As a roadie.
That's like the dream job if you're a pothead.
So the band is said to have helped popularize the term 420. And on December 28th, 1990, a group of deadheads in Oakland handed out flyers that invited people to smoke, quote-unquote, 420 on April 20th at 4:20 p.m. And one ended up with this guy named Steve Bloom. And Steve was a former reporter for High Times magazine.
Is that even around? anymore?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I would
Steve.
imagine, God, if it had gone away before all of this, it'd be a crime.
So the magazine printed the flyer in 1991 and continued to reference the number, and soon it became known worldwide, it says here, Steve, worldwide as code for marijuana.
You know what High Times should have done? And if they haven't done it yet, maybe they can, because it's such a good idea, Steve. One of their pages should be smokable.
I think I know the case. I think years ago when it was really a controversial magazine and be on the shelf, didn't they include what they call a roach clip in one of their issues?
No, but like it's
they
a paper,
did something like that.
Yeah, it's a paper magazine, like maybe page 4 or page 20.
Right.
You know,
and it's smokable.
Rolling papers or actual marijuana?
No. Like,
but something
like
you
a
can
rolling
roll
paper,
up
like
in.
a blunt wrapper, something that you could roll it into.
I get Acid magazine and their tabs of acid on it. No, it's. I remember how controversial that. Look, I don't smoke. I don't use the product myself. Yeah, but again, it's another one of these situations where I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by what's the big in Amsterdam. They have the
Cannabis Cup.
Cannabis Cup. There's a documentary about it that is amazing.
I mean, I don't smoke anymore either, but like I did, and it was like sort of ritualistic. I will tell you that like once I started it like kind of like took over. It was like everything to me, and
I have a history with 15. So I said, I grew up. My sister, my uncles, they were all weed smokers. It was around me even before I was a teenager, and I was kind of used to it. But I started around that time, and I have never quit. And I enjoy it. Now, I am not the level of some weed smokers.
You're
There
not
are
Doug
people-
Benson.
There are people who just smoke it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm an everyday user, but I am not, and I have my medical marijuana card, but I'm not a, just get baked out of my gourd person.
Preston, the agent who used to book me into colleges and booked me around in my early days of stand-up comedy smoked pot the way most people smoke cigarettes,
right?
Like heavy cigarettes. So he was constantly smoking pot. And I'd have to say to him, is there any effect at this point? And he would say, not really. I mean, that's how much he smoked.
Yeah. I remember maybe it was a decade ago, 12 years ago, we would occasionally have people from Normal on our show talking about making it legal and recognizing it. Essentially, for the most part, those guys have won. I mean, I really find it to be fairly it's not really an issue anymore. If you don't want to smoke, you don't have to. If you do, you have options to do so in most states. And I like that. To me, it's one of those things where like it was being done so much anyway. If you want to smoke legally now, most of the places you can. Even Utah, for crying out loud, there are legal shops.
Do you know what's happening now, though? And I just read an article out of California where the image of I'm a local grower and I'm doing my own. Those businesses are getting swallowed up by corporate.
Sure.
Yeah, the same thing's happening with that industry as well.
It's funny though. I mean, because I don't want to be like super prudy and stuff like that, but I do feel like there's a time and place, and like I don't feel like I should be walking through a cloud of pot smoke as I'm walking into the fashion district of Philadelphia, or walking through a cloud of pot smoke as I'm walking down the boardwalk in Wildwood, and it happens. But at the same time, the pot in New Jersey is just as legal as people drinking their White Claws on the beach, and I have no problems with that. But I think the difference is like I'm not smelling your
not wafting over.
You don't get a contact buzz from somebody drinking a beer.
Yeah.
And you may not necessarily from somebody from smoking weed, but if you're someone who's in recovery and you go by and you smell that, you have inhaled a little bit. You know what I mean? And I can see that be concerning, especially for people who've gone through
What about
recovery.
cigarettes, though, man? You've defended people smoking cigarettes out in front of a building in the past.
Yeah, I know, but I love the smell of cigarettes now.
Everyone picks their poison.
No, in fact, I haven't. Not out in front of the building. Like, I think, like, here at this building, or
Thank you, Marissa. So we got a few minutes before these guys are going to get on board, or at least for them to be scheduled to get on board. A reminder about the Bud Light Thursday night kickoff. That's taking place with Nick tonight. He is going to be at in Levittown, and he's going to be at Bailey's Bar and Grill, 7 to 9. You got to stop in, and it's a chance for you to win some tickets to see the Birds against the Rams. And that game is on September 21st, and they will be given away tomorrow at the event.
Pretty awesome.
And a bunch of other things. You can also get qualified for the grand prize, which are Eagles playoff tickets, condition upon them making the playoffs. $3 Bud Light aluminums, and you can win prizes. They have the Kelly Green MMR T-shirts and koozies and all that stuff. And so this is the first one, obviously.
Hot damn tonight.
Game starts tonight, or the season starts tonight, and you'll get used to seeing these on Thursdays and experiencing those and going. Are you doing any of those this year, Case?
Yeah, I don't know when my first one is. I don't think it's next week. I think
Marissa's next week, Case.
Yeah.
So we got the list of all of them yesterday. But yeah, I mean, it's every weekend in between now and December. Every Thursday in between now and December. And first one's tonight. So, and I love the fact that the Eagles are playing tonight. So if you're going to go out and watch a game anyway, come and hang out with us.
Win-win, yeah.
All right, our guests are ready to go, and we're looking forward to talking to these guys. The film that they are promoting is called Looking Through Water. I like the idea of this concept.
So do I.
Trying to repair a relationship between a father and a son, and they use a fishing tournament, or just getting out. And anybody who has ever fished, if you're out there quiet with another person, there's some very personal things that can come with that.
There's a zen aspect to it, too.
Most definitely. And we would like to welcome a guy who calls Philadelphia his home, Mr. David Morse this morning, and Cameron Douglas as well to our program. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us. I had mentioned and Steve had said the zen nature of fishing. Either one of you guys before this film, has fishing been a part of your lives?
No, never. No. I actually had to learn because the guy I'm playing is a really proficient saltwater fly fisherman.
Okay.
And Bob Rich, who wrote the book, is himself, and he has some of the world's best around him and in the movie. So I had to learn how to be one of those guys for the film.
So my dad, years ago when I was a kid, took me to Utah to go fly fishing, and that's the only time I've ever really done it. And there's something, David, I don't know about you, but the sound of that when you're whipping the line out there is. I have ASMR, so it calms me. I don't know if it spoke to you guys at all.
Oh my God!
No, it was the whipping thing. See, I didn't really get that down. I was playing a guide, so I was more pushing the boat around and acting like I knew how to track these fish.
Okay,
but it was fun. I think the sport is really interesting to me because it's far from just throwing a line out with a bobber. It really is just sort of hunting and stalking your prey.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a really interesting aspect.
Yeah, just the sound of it you're talking about. It's also the beauty. I mean, really, there is a beauty to this thing. A real dance. It's a real art.
Yes.
And the people who do it, it just looks like magic.
Yeah.
Well, think of a river runs through it, and that's fresh water. The saltwater fly fishing, I'm not that familiar with, but I love the whole aspect of the father-son relationship, the male bonding. I mean, I went fishing with my dad. My dad, by the way, was categorically the world's worst fisherman ever. Just horrible. Forgot to tie often the lure to the line and would just throw it into the water. But in this, give us a little thumbnail of the story, because I think this will speak to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Cameron.
Story as far as, well, we had some good stories out there. I mean, we got lucky. We were down in Belize during storm season, but the weather was I feel pretty friendly to us.
Well, except for the heat. I could do without the heat.
Well, it was extremely hot.
It's the story of an estranged son and father, and your father directly, Cameron. Michael Douglas has a scar, and he's relays the story of how he got it, and we learn about this reforging of a relationship vis-a-vis this fishing tournament. So, and you said you were in Belize and Mexico as well, but where does the film technically take place?
In Belize, the actual place.
Oh, okay. And the author himself, Bob Rich, as you said, is sort of a champion fisherman in his own right.
He's incredible. And truly, he brought one of the best guys in the world. He goes out all the time with this guy to be my double. for the fishing stuff. And I had worked hard on this thing for about 5 weeks before that, casting lines into my friend's swimming pool in Philadelphia.
That's how you got so good.
He was cheating, Cameron. That's part of the deal. Using the pool.
It did. They had a double for him to do some of the casting, and he ended up doing all of his own casting.
Yeah.
Really, it was impressive. Really impressive. Now I know. That's your friend's house.
Yeah.
It's all coming together now.
Oddly enough, for the first time, there was a real casting agent.
Yes.
An actual casting agent involved.
Teach you
in this
casting.
film.
I wanted to ask you, Karen, because you've been your book out a while ago, Long Way Home, and very candid about your struggles with addiction and about strained relationships with your own dad, and how much did this subject and this story resonate with you on a personal level?
Well, I think, it's a story of family dynamics. We all have them. And yeah, this one in particular, it's a heartwarming story about, a family that's been through a lot and how they find their way. And so enjoyed being a part of this great cast and crew. And I think it's a fun movie. It's a great date night movie. I mean, you got fishing and you got David Morse and Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
So
there you go. David, I wanted to ask you because I actually just recently saw Inside Moves, which is your theatrical, I believe your theatrical debut. And it occurs to me that you, throughout your career, even though there have been many blockbusters sprinkled throughout, you're drawn to, I think, at least I believe, these kind of movies. And that movie it's very character driven. It's very ensemble driven. Is that the absolute sweet spot for you as an actor?
Yeah, the thing I love about it, truly Inside Moves is one of the early independent movies. Dick Donner directed it. It was financed independently. And it really was about a community of people. As much as I was the lead in it along with John Savage, it really was about those group of people. And I think my favorite experiences are like that. It's really about a community, and it's really about, heart, not plot.
Yeah.
And this is a movie with a lot of heart. It's really, we got to see it last night, and it is so touching. It's so moving, this thing. The relationship between those men, the family, and my own father. It was one of the reasons that I was interested in doing this. My own father died on his sailboat down in Venezuela, and had left the world of selling light bulbs. And in this, the character I play is a guy who left his world and his family behind and disappeared down in the Caribbean and went fishing. So it had a lot of resonance for me.
So movies like this can do something that I think in a way they can be instructional or reaffirming. When wounded people can overcome things and families can patch things together. It sometimes takes, I guess, judging by from what we see in the trailer, it's just a hand goes out to you, David, to your son. Let's try to do this. Let's take a swing at this. And we hear so many stories of people who lose loved ones, and we're maybe a day or two away from picking up the phone and trying to reconnect. And this is a reminder to seize the moment.
It absolutely is. And one of the things I think is important about this story, and really all of our stories, is we don't always know the truth about each other. In families, there's a lot of beauty, but there can also be a lot of secrets with some pain in them. And one of the things in this story is how we all kind of overcome that, and in the end, you got a beautiful thing.
David, I wanted to ask you, because I just watched again the Green Mile for the 250,000th time, and the movie has such a great, such an atmosphere, places you viscerally into that world, and I wonder if you're showing up to work every day at a prison set, or whether in fact it was a real prison you were in, that vibe, do you as an actor leave with that? Does it affect your away from the set life as well when you're involved in what is a really kind of a dour environment?
Oh, well, yeah, no. I mean, the Green Mile, we actually shot in a real prison outside of Nashville for a while, but most of it was on a set in Los Angeles. So you walk out the door and you're in sunny South Los Angeles.
Yeah,
that helps.
Yeah. Going home to your family.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. But there are things like, when we did another movie up in the Andes, 14,000 feet, shooting Quito, at 10,000 feet. It's a little hard to leave that environment behind.
Right.
It gets pretty intense.
David, I don't even know what this question means, but I got a text message from a friend asking if you're going to be working the sound for the Eagles game tonight, because apparently you've worked a parabolic mic for them in the past. Is there any truth behind that?
I don't think there is any truth. I'm here in New York, but wouldn't it be nice to be on the sidelines, get to run around?
Yeah. You want us to make some calls?
Yeah, big game. Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cameron, I wanted to ask you, because your dad, your grandfather loom large in my relationship with my father, because my father and he turned me on to the film Paths of Glory years ago. Kirk Douglas, just brilliant. And another movie that speaks to a lot of people, a big cult movie called Lonely or the Brave, and these movies. So have you all your life appreciated the work of your grandfather and your father? Was there a rebellious period where you sort of, didn't want to do that, or, because it's an amazing body of work to visit? And is that something that you have grown to appreciate or always appreciated?
Yeah, no, I've always had a great appreciation for both, and a great respect for both my father and my grandfather. Played out a little differently, with my father, I think, as father-son relationships do. My grandfather and I always had a very close and fun and easy relationship. But always was aware of their work and sort of how good they are at what they do. And inspired by them.
Excellent. Well, how could you not be? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we know you guys got to run. You're talking to a lot of people today, but Looking Through Water in theaters September 12th.
Looking forward to it.
And David, I want to play golf with you sometime. I'm here in Philadelphia. Share your passion, sir. We'll have to make it happen. Well, I'll just pretend like we will.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That was a nice way of saying no. Thank you, guys, and good luck with everything. Looking Through Water, September 12th. Let's hear it for David Morse. And Cameron Douglas. Thank you, guys. Man, it's wild how Cameron's speech pattern
I thought the same thing.
Just like his dad, Michael.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
He looks, listen, Mike looks like Kirk. Cameron looks like Michael. Those genes are very, very strong in that family.
Yeah.
Now, he overcame a lot, though, man. That book was pretty wild. I remember reading a bit of it, and I think maybe we were going to talk to him on that tour, but it's pretty eye-opening. I
think I need to try fly fishing because I enjoy fishing, but I don't enjoy the sitting and waiting and waiting for the bobber or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think there are some places around here you can do like
ton of them.
Yeah, Ridley Creek State Park down in like the Wissahickon and stuff.
So Jamie Blackburn, who works for the Fearless Restaurants and the White Dog Cafes, we all know her.
Yeah.
Her husband Ron, and they're friends of ours. He goes out all the time. It saved his life, the fly fishing. He loves it.
Yeah, it's cool, Case. You dig it, and it's definitely more kinetic than just throwing a line out there and sitting and waiting. But there's other type of fishing besides fly fishing.
Hand grenade.
Where you don't just throw it out there and lay. I mean, there are certain, bass fishing with lures and so on that you're constantly moving the bait and so on. So we'll figure it out for you.
Thanks.
And we're done talking about fishing now. Now it's a logical progression from fishing to poetry.
Exactly.
That's how this works. But we are delighted to have our next guest on. In fact, we started the whole morning talking about poetry.
Yes,
before
we did.
Out of the fact that we were going to have this gentleman on. He's got a book out. It's called About Time Poems. And we give to you now Mr. David Duchovny joining us. Hey, David, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Hey, we had a quick discussion as we were beginning our show and teasing the fact that you were going to be on the program. I asked out loud if any of us are really into poetry, and we all started off saying not really. But as the discussion went on, we started realizing, yes, that there are indeed types of poetry that we do appreciate and like from time to time. Sometimes it's hard for us to understand exactly what the author is trying to say in certain types of poetry, which can make it a bit difficult, a bit of a hurdle to overcome. Is that something that you have in mind for the reader as you're composing? That making this simple or cryptic or however you go about it?
Well, it's actually often when I'm sitting down to write a poem, the feeling that I have is that I'm trying to say something that can't be said. So I'm trying to use words that there are no words for. That's the only reason for me to start trying to write a poem. So I'm not willfully being obscure or difficult. It's just that it's very difficult to say what I think I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to be as simple about something as difficult as it is.
My father turned me on to, years ago, he found ways to make things interesting. And Gray's Elegy, he told me about, this is considered perhaps the most perfect poem ever written. And then Rudyard Kipling and the Captains and the Kings, the refrain. Where did that come from? I remember that book was popular at the time, and reading that. And then when I would read these passages and I could feel myself getting chills, I was like, oh, there is an avenue that poetry can achieve that can tap into a visceral part of how you're feeling that many other forms cannot. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's the beginning of music, really. I mean, it's music without the music. It's word music, really. So it can kind of get into you just unconsciously the way that music can, I think. But also what you're talking about is it's almost religious in a way, because what you're talking about is little bits of wisdom or little bits of turns of phrase that get into you and stay there forever.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had many musicians on this program for interviews, and I will sometimes share with what I think the message are trying to convey through this song. And I 9 times out of 10 get it wrong.
That's good. That's great.
I've come to my own conclusions as to what this means. And I was curious from an author's point of view, how does that make you feel if somebody says, well, I got this from it, but it's not what your intention was?
Fantastic.
Okay.
That's the best thing that can happen. Because, I'm not writing a mission statement. I'm not writing a political statement. I'm not writing any kind of treatise on anything. I'm writing a poem, which is open to interpretation and willfully a little bit obscure, because what I'm talking about is difficult, I think. So same with a song. It's not about what I think it is. That's the least important thing in the world, is what I think about what I'm writing.
It's interesting. Because the name of the book is About Time Poems, and obviously you being the author. But I forget, David, it might have been Sting or somebody we were talking to, and said the song is composed and then it becomes yours, the listener, the consumer, to do with as you want, to hold it up and turn it around as you want, and glean from it what you will. So from early on, were you the kind of kid who would take pen to paper and just try to put your thoughts into prose?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my dad was a writer and my mom was a teacher. So I had, role models who were interested in words and interested in writing and valued the career of writers, valued the career of people that made. My grandfather wrote for a Yiddish newspaper here in New York, and he wrote the serialized stories.
Wow.
So he was like a Jewish Charles Dickens.
There's a movie there, the Jewish Charles Dickens.
And they used to call. I don't know if they had phones, but in my mind, they used to call the house or the apartment and say, what's going to happen to Little Nell, or what's going to happen to, the Yiddish version of Little Nell.
Wow.
And my grandfather wouldn't answer. He wouldn't answer the phone because he would write the story on the way to work.
That's great.
He didn't know what was going to happen to Little Nell yet.
David, my mom was a teacher as well, and I still love learning from her. She'll teach me stuff that I never have thought of. But when it comes to music, and you were referencing this earlier, I'm a music and melody guy first, and it might take me years to get to the lyrics and to understand them or even interpret them from my own in my own brain. For you, when listening or writing a song, is it lyrics first and then melody, or vice versa?
I think it's always different. I mean, usually I'll have chord progressions that I'm playing around with that I like, and then a melody will arise, and then I'll have a notebook of phrases or ideas that I like, and I'll flip through that, and something will fit, and then it kind of takes on a life of its own, and sometimes the writing of the lyric will affect the length of the melody and the feel of the melody. So it's I don't know what the word is I'm looking for.
Interchangeable?
Not interchangeable, but they inform each other. They kind of influence each other. It's not here's one and then the next and then I put that on that, but it's more of an organic kind of give and take, I guess.
Symbiotic?
Symbiotic is a nice word, sure.
Speaking of chord progressions, I noticed some guitars hanging on the wall behind you. And when I hang a guitar on the wall, it's usually because it's an important, piece of memorabilia or something like that. Are those the guitars you play, or do those have some other significance?
When I hang a guitar on the wall, it's so I don't step on it.
It's just out of practical.
That is very practical.
Yeah. I got you.
No. I'm actually in my daughter's apartment in New York City, so those are hers on the wall. One's a bass, and one is actually a guitar I got for her on her 13th birthday. And it has a heart-shaped hole.
I love that.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Does that affect the sound differently?
I don't know, but it was, I was a dad buying a first guitar for my daughter, and I just saw this guitar. I think I must have been in New York, and I was like, I've never seen a heart-shaped hole in a guitar, and I just thought that would be a great first guitar, and they're still there.
Cute.
I wanted to ask you about your podcast, Fail Better, which is to me is a great thing to impart and teach about the benefits. Obviously, there are downsides to failure, but it's become quite popular. And have you been surprised by the reaction to it and people that reach out to you because of it?
I'm always surprised when something works or is popular.
Hence the fail part.
Yeah, but I've always thought, and the reason I did the podcast is because I think, failure is way more universal than raging success or whatever. So I think, the idea of not only releasing shame around the sense of failure, but also just the embrace of failure as a teaching tool, as something that makes us all brothers and sisters, rather than, oh, I'm so ashamed of this thing that happened.
No, it's true.
Excellent. Well, listen, David, we wish you well. It's cool poetry. It's called About Time Poems, and this is available now, not a night.
I like to think of it as titled About Time.
About Time.
There you go.
Poems.
About time. All right.
Come on.
Less Stephen Hawking, more impatient.
All right. Thank you, David. Continued success. We'll talk to you soon. David Duchovny, everyone. Nice guy. I like that. I will dive into that. I've got to be in the right mood, but there's times when a poem will speak.
I was talking about the Rudyard Kipling thing. It was from a poem called Recessional. And my dad turned me on to it, and then there was a miniseries called Captains and the Kings based on this Rudyard Kipling thing. And he was asked to write, Rudyard Kipling was to write a poem for, I believe it was something dealing with the monarchy. And so he wrote, the tumult and the shouting dies, the captains and the kings depart, still stands thine ancient sacrifice, a humble and contrite heart. Meaning that all this, and it was kind of like he was rebuffing the monarchy, saying, don't get carried away with yourself, because in the end, it's not the thing that matters, Right. And so when you hear those backstories and you hear the impetus of why these things come into being, it's like, oh wow, that's that could be as ballsy as a rock song that was sort of anti-establishment or whatever in the 60s. It all has that same impact.
I remember there was one that spoke to me, and it was actually from a movie that was shot here in Philadelphia. It was called In Her Shoes. Cameron Diaz is in it, and her character, she can't she has dyslexia, she can't read,
right?
And as a surprise to her sister at her wedding, she reads her a poem, and it was from E.E. Cummings,
yes,
and it's called I Carry Your Heart in My Heart. And it just it spoke to me.
I can hear it's affecting you now.
For whatever reason, yeah. It was very tender and very sweet, and it was a special moment because she was showing her sister she learned to read.
Yeah, it means something.
Really cool. But it does.
You can tell.
Yeah.
There's one about this hermit.
Shut up.
Named Dave?
Named Dave.
I remember that one.
Preston, he kept this
a dead whore in a cave. I remember hearing about that. But I mean, but to double back to like Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the concept of that movie is like, oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're going to go and just share poems they wrote in a cave, and how the hell does that happen?
I mean, guys used to like doo-wop on the corner. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
cool was a different cool.
Take
back
it back.
then, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But
Take it back.
But I love the way that Robin Williams' character describes he and the Dead Poets when he was a kid, and it was like, gods were made,
sucking the marrow out of life.
Yeah, he's like, it's not a bad evening, right?
Yeah.
Well, Duchovny was David was talking. I call him Duchovny because we're so close. David was talking about the like Charles Dickens's Jewish Charles Dickens. There was that movie that came out about Charles Dickens writing Scrooge writing a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite books, I can't remember the title, but it goes through the process and kind of explains contextually. People were like waiting for this book like it's a blockbuster. Like the way people consumed books back then,
right?
It was
like a Marvel movie.
Stories coming out, and like the thing I could liken it to is when Harry Potter books were coming out, and people were, but that was the norm.
And do you remember when Dickens got into the cider business and he made the Dickens cider?
Yes.
It was incredible.
And if you and sometimes you could order it hot and you would get a hot Dickens cider.
My buyer was Emerson Biggins.
Yeah.
And then IP Daily.
Yeah.
Now he had a Russian salesman. Good God. I won't say his name. Claude Balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a great collection of people.
What for you guys? And this is a loaded question because I have an answer with my own question. But what have you tried to read more than once and it just absolutely escapes you, or it just doesn't grab you?
Catcher in the Rye.
Really?
Oh, a book?
Yeah, or book or poetry.
I never finished it, but I made it really, really, really far through. But I was like, I don't like the way it's written.
But that's
I don't like the character.
Were they forcing it down your? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Were they forcing it too much?
No, you know what? It was after that stupid Mel Gibson movie.
Conspiracy Theory or Conspiracy.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I read it. I read it in as required reading in school, and I didn't get it, and I probably didn't finish it. So years and years later, I picked it up. I'm like, okay, all these serial killers are reading this book.
Yeah.
I got to read this. See what this is all about. Because if you remember, there were murderers that were found with copies of it. Happened on a couple of occasions.
Did not. Lennon's killer.
Mark David Chapman.
Yeah.
I still didn't see what the big deal was.
Was it hyped too much?
Yeah, maybe as this is, wow, this thing that Holden Caulfield goes through and so on. And I'm like, well, I got to read the story. And the story is dated. Obviously, it takes place in a much earlier time. But I just was confused by it. It just didn't speak directly to me. Now, I've read other things that people think are garbage, and I'm like, that's awesome, So, it's hard to
you know
say.
what happens when it comes through school, sadly to say this, when this is the thing we have to read. But I remember one time where I was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. It was when we read The Great Gatsby. I thought that was phenomenal, and it still remains one of my favorite books of all time.
So you've said that enough times that a couple of years ago I read it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it.
Yeah,
didn't care for it. But on the other side of things, I did go. I was going through a phase of reading classics. I read Old Man and the Sea, but I picked up a book and I told Nick about it, and his mom was so happy to hear how much I liked it. It was On the Road from Jack Kerouac.
Yeah, I've read that a couple of times.
We had to read that in school, actually.
I was like, okay, I'll see what this is about. And I loved that book.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
That is, it's also dated.
It is.
The language,
very dated.
Language in it is not modern, which, I think part of the thing about Catcher in the Rye was that it was sort of framed as this revolutionary, complete counterculture type of a novel, and it, in retrospect, doesn't look like that anymore, But when it came out,
that's true.
When it came out, it was.
He was the iconoclast. He was the loner. That's why it speaks to so many. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom's favorite book of all time, and the one that she's read the most, and she was an English teacher, was Fahrenheit 451. And I know,
that's one of my favorite books, Nick.
One of the great things about one of my favorite things about my mom is that she has her copy of it, and it's so read through so many different times with notes on all the different dog-eared, and she's taught it a lot over the years. So I like learning about things like that through different people, and my mom in particular.
I had an interesting scenario where I went back to reread a book that I really liked a lot, and I found it was too much work the second time around, which is really weird. 1984.
Yes.
Which is a brilliant novel,
I
and
just
I
reread
loved it. I went back to reread it, Steve, and it started talking about, double speak and all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I have to re-go through the instruction manual before I read this book.
It's so great. Have you
Brilliant.
Have you ever read something that made you like flat out cry?
Oh, freaking Marley and Me.
The book?
Yeah,
Sure.
and the part that made me cry, I thought the most in the book was when she had the miscarriage, when she came home and Marley laid his head on her lap, and I was like, oh my God, they know.
Dude, the other book that he wrote had me sobbing.
Which was what now?
It's called The Long Trip Home.
Yes. We Ate Marley.
No, We Ate Marley.
John Grogan's.
Yeah.
John Grogan's the name of that author. He used to work for Philadelphia Inquirer, and I think it's a long trip home, a long road home.
Yeah.
I'm unaware.
His father is ill, and he's not long for this world, and he's got to take this drive from A to B. It's a long drive, and as he's taking the drive, he's remembering, his relationship with his father and all this. And spoiler alert: his father dies. He was terminal, and it's just, oh my God! At the end of it, when he passes, the way that he wrote it, I was absolutely crying my eyes.
I hear you. I had the same experience. One of my favorite books of all time is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson, that became. So the sequence in the Will Smith movie with the German Shepherd. It's a lot different in the book. It's not the dog doesn't become zombified. The dog has just been through hell.
Yeah,
and he he's gonna catch me.
You're gonna get it.
Yeah,
yep.
he is. He has had nobody to relate to. Robert Neville, the main character, he has nobody to reach out to. And he says this is something that he can love and then love him back.
Yeah.
And the same fate befalls that dog. It just dies. But I mean, I remember like, oh my God, I can't believe the written word is turning me into this blubbering mass.
By the way, is this the Preston and C book club right
It
now?
should be.
Oh my God!
I think this is.
Yeah.
Let's get some wine and cheese.
Oh yeah,
I'm on board.
The Longest Trip Home is the name of that book, Preston, and it's a memoir, and the author's John Grogan. The reason I brought that question up is that I took a Brit Lit class in college, and we were forced to read Ulysses by James Joyce.
Wow, that's a slog.
I was just in Ireland over the weekend. My son's going to college there this fall semester, and I'd never been to Ireland before, and we went past James Joyce's childhood home. And I'm looking at this thing. It gave me PTSD because that book was so confusing and heavy and awful. I abandoned it. I maybe I made it a third of the way through. It was so challenging and difficult. And I don't even know what I got on that paper for that class, but I'm sure that I either went to the Cliff Notes or some version of a Cliff Notes and tried to force my way to get to finish the paper. It just was. It was impossible. Nothing in that book rang true for me, and nothing about it made sense in my brain at all.
You raised an interesting issue here, Nick. In my life, I've done I'm just going to read the Cliff Notes, only to read the Cliff Notes and go, I should probably read the book. Right. And then going back and really, I think I get the book more now, and going back and reading the book and enjoying it.
Man, it was so confusing.
Was it? Was part of it the language and how it's written?
Part of it, but it's all over the place. And I just remember reading it, Preston, and I was not a very good student at that point in my life. I wasn't that interested in it, but I got angry while reading it. I was like, this makes no sense, and I'm mad at it.
F you, Joyce.
Yeah,
because of the language, the way certain things are written, like Shakespeare as an example. I can't follow that. Another one, some passages of the Bible.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus Christ. I can't.
Literally, yeah.
Jesus. I don't know what you're saying.
I'll tell you one.
No idea what you're saying.
And you brought it up on the show, Master and Commander. You read the original.
Oh my
the original
God.
text.
I had to force myself to finish that, and I looked up more words. As far as their definitions go, than any book I've ever read in my life. And I love that movie. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, it was. And there's a series of books. One and done. No way.
What about A Clockwork Orange? You ever try reading that?
Yes. Anthony Burgess?
Yeah. Is he the writer?
Yeah.
So the book has all sorts of language that isn't English, even though it takes place in modern times or whatever. And
Is it Cockney?
It's cocknified.
Not. Yeah, but there's a language, Steve, that they came up with. There's a name for it. It's like noob speak or something along those lines.
It's where the droogs and all of that,
And so you quite literally have to have like a glossary while going through it because you're like...
Everyone talks like Paul McCartney.
Zipply-doo. Yeah, that part I would get. I could.
Welcome to McCarthyville.
Right.
McCartneyville.
If it's in Liverpudlian, it might make sense to me. But like the noob speak, and none of that ranked. And so you just end up watching the movie, and you're like, all right, well, now I get it.
I'm just not a good reader.
I've seen you read. It's impressive.
No, I can read. But it takes me a long time. I don't retain the information. And that's just like how I am in life. And so I know like sometimes you guys get annoyed because like maybe I don't remember something, but like it's just not how my brain is built. Maybe the 2 concussions I had in a less than an hour span, maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, one of the reasons that I segued over to audiobooks is I get drowsy when I read.
Yeah.
And even if I'm enjoying the story, there's something about the act of reading through a book that makes me tired, and also my mind wanders. So I will have to go back and read the same passage on a few occasions just to make sure I retain something important. But I get tired even when I'm interested.
So you found a gem when that doesn't happen, and you're buzzsawing through it. What was the last book that you actually physically read that you could not put down?
An actual book in my hand. I mean, the one I've read the most is Project Hail Mary. That one or not Project Hail Mary. I'm sorry. Is
Martian?
Ready Player One. Yeah, over and over. I've read that, and it's just that one I can't put down. But the last book I read, physical book. I'm not really sure, Steve. It's been years.
Yeah.
Any of the Harry Potters, or were those all audiobooks?
Those are all audiobooks.
Okay. Yeah, Deathly Hallows for me. It's quite literally a heavy book, but I loved reading that book, and I can't wait to read it again.
I think the only book that I've read on multiple occasions is
the phone book,
The Catch-Up Kid.
The Catch-Up Kid. I remember that.
Yeah.
A delightful story.
Yeah. At that point, I thought, I was like, I'm getting into reading now, And then as it turns out, I was not.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Dan, who wants to chime in real quick here. Hey, Dan, you're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's up, man?
First-time caller, or first-time listener, long-time caller.
Yes. Love that about you.
You did it the other way.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. My mom gave me a book, Thomas Harris, The Manhunter.
Actually, it's called it's the Red Dragon. The movie they made about it was called
And I read it 3 times in one day.
It's a great book.
Wow.
3 times in one day.
Book, and you can't put it down.
It's one of the first books that I really dove into because I took to reading late. I didn't do it in high school. I certainly didn't do it in my brief one semester in
15,
college.
So. Yeah.
But that was one of the first books that I dove into and really fell in love with. And
when he pushes them down on the he pushes him down on the wheelchair.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
On fire.
When you're reading that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, that's
still. And I love Stephen King too.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Dan.
Manhunter, the movie is terrific. That's Michael Mann directed Manhunter, and that has a bunch of incredible scenes, and of course, Silence of the Lambs.
The book is excellent because it goes from it's Red Dragon and then Silence of the Lambs in order, and then Hannibal after that. It's a great series altogether. Definitely worth reading.
Do you want to do a book club?
What's that?
Do you want to do a book club?
What, with us?
Yeah.
First book, The Catch-Up Kid?
And our
listeners?
And our listeners. It's just one segment, maybe one.
No, because we're going to dive into, if we do book club, you dive into one book.
And you can't talk about it.
Spend the entire time talking about that only when you're ready for discussion.
Yeah.
And I think just sitting around here, rather than talking about multiple books like we are now, and diving into just one book that everybody listening hasn't specifically read.
What I mean is...
might not be good for a radio segment. We could do a live event.
Well, okay. What I meant is, it's September 4th right now. On October 4th, we are going to...
Ulysses.
I know.
We're going to meet here on the show and talk about a book. So we all have a month.
So we would throw everybody who wants to listen to join in, but people will be calling in, talking about a book that most people probably did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think for a live event, yes.
Yeah.
But not for our expansive radio audience.
Do you want to pick a segment and like we can start Catcher in the Rye and you read a chapter to everyone?
So when I was in St. Louis, one of my all-time favorite radio DJs, Rich Dalton, he was the night jock.
Right.
And he decided to do a project where he would read The Hobbit.
Okay.
Wow.
Live on the air.
Live on the air.
And he would do it by chapter. And
how did that go over?
It didn't. I listened to it and I love this guy. He's my favorite DJ.
Yeah.
And he had like little in the background was like you could hear like a fire burning, this cracking and popping.
So there was
there were some environmental things. But no, not for rock radio.
No,
No,
NPR kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe. Did you guys read the Tolkien book?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I struggled with that one too.
I read them, and then and then there was the Harvard Lampoon did Board of the Rings, which was a comedy take on it, and Dildo Booger was the.
I'd read that.
Yeah.
That I can handle.
Dildo Booger.
Dildo.
That's excellent. All right, hang on. Hi, Tom. You're on the Preston C Book Club. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning to see you. What's up, man?
Well, on a side note, before I talk about my book, I just want to say if you liked Ready Player One, there is another follow-up book called Ready Player Two that you put out.
Yeah, I read it. I read it twice. I didn't like it as much as the first one. I read it the second time just to go back and see if I, missed out on something. But thank you. I appreciate it.
The book that really stood out to me recently was a recommendation from a friend of mine, Boy's Life. It's about a boy in 1960 Alabama, and there's like a murder that he solves, and it's all about like just the growing up part of being a boy around 8 or 10 years old, and it's not like a certain focus, but it just shows you that time period of a childhood that really it was a really good book.
I love stuff like that. The DiCaprio movie, that was based on, This Boy's Life was based on a book, was it not?
Yeah, the one with De Niro?
With De Niro?
Yeah, the author was Wolf.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
Yeah, that's where that comes from. Yeah, he played a real author.
Yeah.
Who wrote it about his life, and I forgot who it was. Something Wolf, Nick, if you wouldn't mind.
Thomas Wolfe?
Thomas Wolfe, yeah.
Okay.
Must be,
Was that? So. Will Thomas Wolfe wrote The Right Stuff, right?
I don't know. That was a guess on my part, so I'm looking that up. And while I'm looking that up, I want to recommend an app called Canopy. It starts with a K. And if you are a library person like I am, Canopy also gets you, so you can, obviously libraries are free, but Canopy will get you any movie or TV show that's available for streaming. And download the Canopy app on your phone, and you can use it in conjunction with any library around the country. It's fantastic. I started using it a few months ago, and I use it all the time. Especially, Steve, if it's a
classic,
or no, if it's a like a DVD that I can't find, or a movie that's not streaming currently, use Canopy and you'll be able to track it down.
So I stumbled across
Tobias Wolf.
Oh, Tobias Wolf.
Sorry, go ahead.
I stumbled across a site called Watching Chicks Pee.
Okay.
And,
this is Canopy. Two very different things.
Nick, there's not a book on the site.
Yes, and yes, you can pee.
There wasn't a single book on
I was looking for Ulysses.
Yeah. Not there.
Did you look under you pissies?
That would have been.
Anyway.
All right.
Okay, I think we need to.
I think we should wrap things up here. Well, welcome and thank you for joining us at the Preston C Book Club.
We had a book club.
We'll do it again. We'll do it another time. I do like the idea, though, of sometime maybe we pick a book and then we go somewhere to the place that's got a private room, and we have a sit around.
I tell you,
listeners to come out.
I want, and we're going to do it if we can ever get the friggin' time. Is you talking Stephen King, and we'll just go live and invite everyone in. I'll set up the architecture for getting it online and streaming it, and then because there's rabid people, chapping at the bit,
and then know way more than I do too. I wanted to do a Dark Tower podcast years ago, and I just never followed through on it. But maybe we do that sometime.
Yes.
Too. But anyhow, yeah. All right, let's take a break. Let's come back in a second. Bizarre File stories are indeed on the way, and I promise you we'll get a song for the Back to School A to Z. When we return, we're in the I'm section. One of my favorite Van Halen songs is coming up next. So we'll take a break and come back. Stay with us.
Cover, right? Like when it's raining out, it's not like, oh, tough crap, you stinky, filthy smokers. Like, go smoke in the rain.
Stinky people.
Yeah.
So you're talking about make some sort of area where they can congregate.
But not for the pot smokers?
Right outside the entrance?
Well, but you're the one that said it, not me.
Yeah, I'm right out. Okay, first of all, it's not legal in Pennsylvania recreationally, right? Like
in Philadelphia, it is.
Yeah.
Recreational? Smoking legally is recreational in Philadelphia. Pennsylvania is odd because it's by municipality in most areas. Smoking weed, as far as I understand it, is allowed in Philadelphia in public.
I don't know.
Let's check that.
It's the public thing that I'm curious about, Nick. I think that you can have small amounts and it's okay, but consumption, there are regulations on when and where you can do that.
Can you be the mayor giving a speech smoking a blunt?
You're the mayor, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
So let me see here. Whether people buy marijuana legally in New Jersey or illegally in the underground market, it's a crime for them to possess, consume, grow, or sell marijuana in Pennsylvania.
Except in certain instances.
Okay. All right. Well, we can.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's odd. And that's part of the reason why it's still so strange is that there are, it varies from state to state. And not only does it vary from state to state in Pennsylvania, it varies from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh.
And federally, you can still get in trouble for it,
Exactly.
even though it's legal.
Oh, they got to shake all this stuff out. What kills me, Preston, is about this the creation of 420 as a thing. There's a good organization attached to a commercial that we run on air that mentions DBH. Do bong hits is what I hear.
Of course.
And that this thing would take off and become the thing from a school playground when DBH was your school thing.
Yep, that was our thing.
Yeah.
And our DBH, we had it written all over our notebooks and stuff,
Our thing in college was, Hendrix, right? So we would, be at a party or whatever. Like, okay, we're going to be at Hendrix at like midnight. All right, meet me at Hendrix. But Hendrix was a gravestone. It was somebody's name. And there was a graveyard next to our fraternity house, and all the way back in the far back of the cemetery.
That's where you guys would congregate?
Right next to this big tree. It was the biggest, and the last name on the headstone was Hendrix. And it was, so when you're talking about DBH and 420, like
these things become lore.
They're these cool little ritualistic things that and it's code, right? Like not everybody knew what Hendrix was, and you could say that, and people knew what you were talking about.
Right.
I think line one might be able to help us.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I have Mike on the phone, who is a police officer in Philadelphia. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Good. Well, we're a little confused, Mike. That's clear.
But that's par for the course.
Maybe you can help us out here. What's the story with marijuana, smoking it, possessing it in Philadelphia?
So it is recreational use. You can walk down the street and smoke it. It is basically when I'm working in the city and we're driving by and you smell it, it's like, oh, well, that's just the new smell of Philly. So instead of, you get down to the subway when we're working down there and you're like, oh, that's the smell of Philly. But up on the street, it's just the smell of weed everywhere.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that you could smoke it outside. And that is Nick correct in that it's only.
Here's the thing. I'm partially correct. And maybe, Mike, you can expand a little bit upon this. It's decriminalized. However, it's not legal. But I don't know what the difference between decriminalization and legality is.
I mean, realistically, there is no. I'm sure there is a nuance, and if you're caught with it with like a certain amount and it's all bagged up, then it could be. Then it's criminalized. However, it's gotten to the point now where it's so prevalent out there that there's no point in doing anything about it because of how willing people are to just say, oh, okay, yeah, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and it's so low level that it's hardly worth the waste of time.
Exactly. Somebody. So the biggest things you get is still federally it's not, and I'm a federal law enforcement, so even for us though, we're not touching it because there's no, nobody's going to touch for a couple joints or a couple, whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to even mess with it. But if you're flying out of the airport and you have it in your bag, like your carry-on bag, and they do the search, it's getting confiscated. You're not going to go through it because at that point, once you go through, it's a federal building.
That's why you got to pick up the ass buddy for transporting your pots.
Right. I mean,
so they're going to confiscate, but they're not going to arrest you?
Correct. It depends on the amount, though. I mean, you might get like a citation and like almost like an ROR where they're going to give you a citation for it, depending. But most of the time, they're just going to take it and let you travel on, especially if you have a medical marijuana card.
Yeah.
But they could,
and
right?
There are some nuances with that where, and I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% privy on it because that's more local level,
right?
And I know for us, we're not dealing with it unless we're actually finding it by the tonnage or the big pounds, and then it's like, oh, all right, that's for us.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a different question? Because I've heard about from people who said they don't want to get a medical marijuana card because then they wouldn't be able to purchase a firearm. It's like you can have one or the other, but you can't have both. Is that
is false?
Okay. False. Okay.
That is false. So I have friends of mine that have the medical marijuana card and also have a Pennsylvania state carry permit. So it is false. It's, there's obviously if you get caught carrying and you were smoking and you're high, yeah, there's some implications, right? It's just like drinking. Like even for me as a Fed, I can basically carry anywhere. However, where I can't carry is anytime if I decide to have a drink, right? I'm not supposed to have it on me, and if I do, that's it. It doesn't matter who I am and what I am. It's an automatic, you're done.
Okay.
Right?
So
because that's the implications.
Let me ask you, Mike. So I do a lot of human trafficking, but I want to get a Class C license.
Yeah.
Is that going to be an issue?
I mean, it won't be, but what's your address again?
All right, Mike. We appreciate the info. Take care, bud.
No problem. Thanks for talking.
All right, see you later.
Hi, Mike.
All right, we actually have a police sergeant.
There you go.
Who wants to correct a couple of things that Mike may have missed out on. And he's in Philly as well. Hey, Joe. Good morning.
Hey, it's just that you look so nice.
That's a great callback.
All right, Joe. We're good, man. So what's the what can you clear up about this conversation?
Yes, I need to retrain Mike. Mike's pretty close on a couple things. It is not legal. It is decriminalized.
Okay.
Meaning anything less than 30 grams possession, it will be confiscated and you get issued a ticket for $25.
Okay.
If you're smoking it, the ticket is actually $100. But a code violation notice is the same thing we issue for a house with high grass, or if you're like smoking in the entrance of a business because businesses don't allow smoking. It's a ticket.
Okay.
So it's not that big a deal. As long as you pay it, there's no criminal offense. You don't have to disclose anything on a job application.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
That's what I thought. I thought that there was that you can't be just standing out on a sidewalk, on a public sidewalk, just huffing away. I thought that was, if not illegal, some type of a violation.
Yeah, but it's become so prevalent. It's almost become that drinking a beer in a brown paper bag.
Right.
Cops aren't going to chase everybody through the park.
Yeah,
you're on your
it's
porch, or your
situational.
house, you're in your car. We're not going to make an issue about it.
Joe, you'd gum up. I mean, if you were to go after everybody, you'd be gumming up. The paperwork alone would be insane going through all that stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'd make it 2 blocks from headquarters before I get
Yeah.
So,
All right, say, Sergeant, real quick, because I just got another text from my friend who is a state trooper here in Pennsylvania, and he says that guy is absolutely wrong about the medical marijuana card and firearms. He says you absolutely cannot have a medical marijuana card and purchase a firearm in Pennsylvania. He said that
purchase a firearm or
purchase
concealed permit?
Purchase a firearm.
Your state trooper friend is exactly right. If you have a medical marijuana card in Pennsylvania, it automatically prevents you from being able to apply for and purchase a firearm.
But if you had a firearm first, what if you had a firearm first?
In theory, you're supposed to turn it into the state if you get caught. Now, I imagine nobody's kicking down your door to take your legally purchased firearm because you got a card. But it's probably in your best interest to
maybe not disclose.
Wow.
Why is that, though?
Just go visit Jersey more often.
Why is that? What is the reasoning behind that?
Because it's federal. So the state, which is
got it.
when you purchase a firearm, you have to register it with the state.
Right.
When you purchase that firearm, because it's state, it's all submitted to the federal government.
All right.
Where
Got
the
it.
federal government, all marijuana is still illegal.
All right, Joe, let me throw this scenario out to you. Let's say I have a medical marijuana card. I am defending my home. Someone breaks into my house. I have a firearm. I use it. Does that complicate things?
It can and it can't. What you're looking at, I mean, is you can justify the use of deadly force. In theory, I can take my firearm and leave it at my father's house. And if my father used that firearm to defend his property, he violated no law. He was not in possession of that firearm outside the house.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, what about driving under the influence of marijuana? And does that vary from state to state?
It does. And one of the issues in Pennsylvania they've talked about is because we're kind of decriminalizing and there's the medical, when you get pulled over for DUI for alcohol, there's a limit you have to reach. It's 0.08 is the limit of alcohol. If you're below 0.08, you don't get charged with an offense.
Right.
If you have any marijuana in your system, and I believe it can last anywhere from 3 to 7 days, depending on the level. If you have any marijuana in your system, you're automatically charged.
DUI.
Even if it's you smoked weed 2 days ago and you have trace amounts, because that they test for, I think there's a doctor in court who does this part, but I always look at his sheets. They test for THC, and I think it's delta hydrocannabinoid 9 or something. And when they test for all of that, as long as it shows up in the system, you're charged with 3802D, which is the drug offense.
So you're just like a bad driver on a certain day, and you just do a dick move as you're driving. But if they test for it, and it could be a couple of days old, they'll charge you with that under the influence.
Yeah, it's one of the things that they've been talking about addressing because you can leave the bar and you're at 0.06, you're free to go home, but you have that little bit of marijuana and we smell.
You know,
on the drug test.
So it's the weird thing, Joe, and we talk about this because there's so many from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, from state to state. There's the lack of parity, and again, I was reading an article in the paper about how it's hard to really, at the time of arrest, determine how far along someone is if they've smoked a lot of pot.
Yeah, they need to refine the testing process, but you would think that would have been done by now. You know, 'cause it's been around for a long time.
One of those things that decriminalization happened so fast, and it was essentially, look, we're just going to, because it was a Philly thing. It was, we're no longer going to arrest for it. We're just going to issue tickets.
Right.
But the state is the one that makes the determination on criminal and motor vehicle code violations, and they have not caught up.
Okay. So, all right. Can you have a medical marijuana card and a fishing license?
They're still working on that.
Hey, the firearms thing, is that nationally or is that just in the state?
He was saying it was federal.
But
so firearms, it's all submitted federal, so they still fall under federal guidelines. Not every state has a medical marijuana program.
Okay. Got it.
That's still local.
Okay.
They're still state by state.
All right, Sarge, thanks for the info, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
All right, you too.
I'd be the worst. But my brothers are all both law enforcement. I'd be the worst at it.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Pella is celebrating 100 years of innovation with 40% off of installation or 0% APR for 24 months. Visit PellaPhilly.com today. So a Japanese octogenarian was swindled out of 1 million yen after falling in love online with a self-described astronaut who sought her help to avert a spaceship crisis.
I heard this. This is so sad.
The hapless woman met the fraudster in July on social media who claimed to be a male astronaut. After some exchanges, the scammer one day told her that he was in space on a spaceship right now, but was under attack and in need of oxygen.
Well, those aliens, they just don't care.
The scammer then urged her to pay him online to help him buy oxygen and successfully hoodwinked him out of the cash.
I mean, to be honest, that's a level of dumb.
That's beyond.
I feel bad for this woman, but that's one of the worst concoctions I've ever heard.
Yeah, the woman lives alone and started developing feelings for him as their online communication had progressed. Japan has the world's second oldest population after tiny Monaco, according to the World Bank, and older people frequently fall prey for various
You don't
forms
understand. He's an astronaut.
of organized
And he's
fraud.
being attacked by aliens.
And he's running out of air.
He's running out of air. You don't care. You've never been in love with an astronaut being attacked by aliens?
All right, here's this story out of Denver. What was meant to be a relaxing day at the Indian Hot Springs quickly turned into a tense police chase after a man fled from Idaho Springs police covered in mud, only wearing a Speedo.
Was he attempting to elude a predator?
Dispatch alerted Idaho Springs police to a suspect who was wanted at the Indian Hot Springs after reports of credit card fraud and stolen identification on that day. By the way, the suspect's name is Alec Bogus.
Perfect.
His last name is Bogus.
And he's a fraudster.
Police responded to the hot springs where they found Bogus in a mud bath.
Bogus.
And confronted him about the alleged credit card fraud. Bogus denied the claim before the officers mentioned the warrant that was out for him and told him that he would be going with them to jail. The officers allowed the muddy man to take a shower before they left, but while escorting Bogus, he ran from them covered in mud and only wearing a Speedo. He ran through a parking lot before climbing up a hill past cabins. The pursuing officer injured his knee while running up that hill and told local law enforcement about the situation.
We're trying to catch Bogus.
A drone was deployed, which spotted Bogus at an intersection. The officer drove his vehicle to the area after another pursuing officer possibly tore ligaments in his leg during the chase. Everybody's getting hurt chasing after the mud-covered Bogus.
Yeah.
Bogus was tracked to the home of a resident who told police that he saw him run in the direction of his shed. Police approached the
I've
shed.
got a shed.
Opened the door and found Bogus hiding inside. He complied with the orders and was arrested by the officers and was later booked into the Clear Creek County Jail on charges.
You know, you raise a point, though, or just a part of that story. I wonder, like our own, like Philly police and the police departments in general, is there a budget for drones?
Yeah, I was wondering about that, too.
Yeah.
For police?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I was in Cape May. I was getting a hot dog at Hot Dog Johnny's or Hot Dog Tom. Anyway, and I saw all this police activity. So I went up to a little promenade, and there was somebody who was in like this hit and run accident and jumped out of the car and started running. And he ran into the dunes right between the promenade and the beach, and they threw the drones up there to try and find this guy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, in Florida, a Port Charlotte man was arrested after deputies said that he attacked a couple outside of a Publix grocery store with bug spray when they wouldn't let him skip in front of them at the checkout line.
You're like a bug. Publix are huge, by the way.
Yeah, they are. So the sheriff's office responded after receiving a call about a physical altercation, and deputies said the incident began inside the store when Daniel Cannell, 65 years old, became upset at the couple while he was in the checkout line. An investigation revealed that the woman was waiting for her husband in line when Cannell approached and tried to get in front of her. Now, I don't know if she sent the husband off to go grab one last item or whatever it was, but the woman told Cannell that she was in line, which upset him. The victims began placing their items on the checkout belt, and Cannell began to do it at the same time, furthering the argument. The husband stepped between his wife and Cannell and told him to back off, and Cannell left his cart and items and ran out of the store. Once Cannell was outside of the store, he moved his vehicle to the other side of the parking lot and positioned himself to commit the attack. The couple exited the store and began loading their groceries into the car when Cannell ran up behind them and sprayed them both in the face with bug spray before running away and leaving the scene.
So think about it. He actually had time to go out, get in the car, smell the fresh air outside, where you might pause and reconsider your plan to spray them with bug spray.
Yeah.
But he still went through with it.
I think he probably had it in his car, and he's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going out and get my bug spray.
The hell with bugs. I'm taking care of those bastards.
The man required medical treatment and was taken to a local hospital. Deputies located Cannell nearby. He was identified the victims, and he refused to discuss the incident with deputies, but they arrested him anyway. All right, speaking of drones, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is using drones with thermal cameras to safeguard cattle from wolf attacks, which has greatly lowered cattle deaths in Oregon and California. Now, these drones identify wolves nearby, and then they emit sounds through loudspeakers to scare them away.
Go away.
Well, the sounds include fireworks and AC/DC's Thunderstruck, but the most effective deterrent? human yelling.
Oh, really?
Yep. So, Steve, not too far off from what you just did there.
Yeah.
Paul Wolf, that's the guy's name,
Stop it.
from the U.S.
Has he met Bogus?
Agriculture Department stated the human voice was the strongest response out of all the other sounds that we were playing, whether it was a sound, the gunshots, and what have you. Drones have been deployed in parts of Oregon and California where wolf attacks on cattle are a major problem. Equipped with thermal cameras, they can effectively locate the wolves even in poor visibility conditions.
That's pretty wild.
And once wolves are detected, the drones use their loudspeakers to play various sounds designed to scare them away from cattle. But yes, if they are yelling, go away, yeah, whatever it may be, get, go to get.
Yeah, wolves in general are when humans come into the area and make noise, they'll go away. They're not I wouldn't say timid, but they don't want to have anything to do with it.
And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you.
You know, we have these UV security cameras inside the house, Preston, and because we have 8 cats, and if one pees on a piece of furniture, we don't have to take all 8 to the vet. But you can set a mode where if it recognizes an animal, recognizes one of the cats coming into an area where you would prefer they not be, you'll hear, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Really?
Yeah.
You can set that up to where it will.
Hey, what are you doing?
So it's like a security camera.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Does it work on the cats?
Not at all.
Okay.
I was wondering because, like, I've been on FaceTime with my family, and the dogs are in the background, and I haven't been, and I'll be like, "Hey, Reg," and they don't like it, they don't hear
respond.
It. They don't respond at all.
So some animals, it's weird.
Yeah.
Some, and you see plenty of videos of that will watch TV and react to what's going on the screen.
Yeah,
and then,
transfixed.
Yeah, or even to something that's being said, or they'll chase after something on the screen.
Yeah.
But I've never had an animal that's been that way. I've never had a pet that is actually acknowledged the television. Similar thing with recorded voice or voice coming from a speaker.
I'm like, is it a frequency thing?
I'll tell you what they will respond to if Kizzy, our dog, hears a dog barking on the TV or cat sounds on videos. Yeah, and they'll respond to it. But visually, no, doesn't do a damn thing.
I love it, dude. Like when somebody throws a ball on the television and the dog's like, "Where'd that go?"
Oh, when on the screen someone is throwing. Yeah,
to be honest, I do the same thing. Where'd that go? Where'd it go? He just threw it. It disappeared.
All right, let us take a break, come back, and return with Back to School A to Z. We'll have more of that, lesson question, trash, and music news on the way next. Stay there.
Well, I forget the Miranda rights, all that stuff. I'd be the worst.
Wow.
I mean, I couldn't even umpire a softball game.
Could you imagine going into a drug bust? I thought you said go into the bag.
Is this infield fly rule?
Thank you for saying that, because the umpire yesterday missed 2 infield fly rules, and we were losing by 1,000 runs. I'm like, please just give us these outs.
Real quick, one of the funniest moments of my life was watching my father try to explain to my mother the infield fly rule. And it took about an hour and a half, and she still doesn't understand it. But boy, did my brothers enjoy the process.
Well, it seems like all this has a multitude of infield fly rules. Yeah, people are trying to hash out, Nick.
It's confusing. Yeah. It is. But, I mean, things have lightened up so much. If you look back, 25 years ago as opposed to now and where things are. I mean, me as a user, I love it. I think it's great.
You're so right, though, Press, because years ago, I remember he smokes pot.
I know. Or if I were to mention it on the air, would have been, even just a couple of years ago, would have been really taboo.
And now we have advertisers.
Yeah.
Bill walks around toking all day.
I still think of it that way, though, a little bit. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, he's a pot smoker.
My romance with weed is, I can remember back to my teenage years, like really good bags specifically of pot that I would
journey
get.
Faithfully.
And just I hold these great little memories. Now, I also did some really stupid stuff while being high throughout the years, especially in those earlier days, because when you first start trying it, it's augmented in its effect. I mean, and of course they have strains now that'll still get me baked out of my mouth. One of the highest I've ever been. And I'm not going to retell the story here because I've told it 1,000 times, was when we went to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
And went to this couple's house, and I smoked some local stuff, and I'm like, I am so high. I couldn't believe it.
Pierre's mentioned that over the years about how now they can be more specific, and the strains are more powerful. And,
oh, my God.
And our good friend of ours, Steve McLean, I guess he took a gummy or something at a wedding.
Yeah, it was a gummy. It was an edible, and he had a reaction.
I just said, let's try
had
this.
to go to the hospital.
We had to be brought out on a gurney.
When I went to my very first meeting as soon as I got my medical card and went to a dispensary, and I met with the pharmacist who sat me down to walk me through the process. It's funny because he goes, all right, so, just to find out what your tolerance level is, he goes, what you do is you take a hit of this, and he goes, and you wait 15 minutes and see how you feel. And he turns to me and goes, and really wait 15 minutes. Like a real 15 minutes. Because the mistake everybody makes, especially with edibles, is they take this half hour, 45 minutes later, they're like, I'm not feeling anything. Let me take another one. And then
they're gone.
They didn't realize that it takes an hour and 15 minutes for it to kick in. You've got to wait.
Yeah, and they
have to wait.
End up curled up.
So you find out what your level is.
In the fetal position. I am pro weed. I do think that when it comes to teenagers, you really have to be cautious.
Yes.
It affects teenage brains differently than it affects
it absolutely
adult brains.
does, yeah.
And so I think that needs to be, you have to be really, really cautious if you're younger than 18. Preston, have you ever been to Amsterdam?
I have not.
I have. And it's beautiful. And when I went there, it was like 96 or 97. The fact that weed culture was legal there really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And I think you would enjoy it.
Okay.
It's fun to get high and go to art museums.
Steve, I just out of nowhere just started getting like really paranoid on it. And so like
that's a common side effect, is it not?
Well, it can be, and so, but and I had a friend who stopped because she was getting paranoid on, and I didn't get that. It didn't register with me until it started happening to me in Preston. One time, we partook, and then we were at a bar, and it was on the same day as the Kentucky Derby, and there was a guy at the bar who was just taking bets for the Kentucky Derby. So, like, no harm, no foul.
Right.
It's not some big gambling ring or anything like that. So I placed a bet for a trifecta and then I sit down and I see these guys sitting at a table, and I was convinced that they were the FBI and they were going to
oh my God.
And that they were going to bust the place for illegal gambling. I called my wife and had her pick me up. I was like, get me out of here. Well, we're going to get arrested.
To be arrested by the FBI.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right? I swear to God.
Homeland Security's here. They're going to arrest me. That's why, honestly, I've never been drunk and I've never been into this, but I have no issue with it whatsoever. My thing is that paranoia and fear of losing control.
Paranoia, anxiety.
Like,
I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be the first person that dies of a heart attack from smoking pot.
I think I'm too much of a puss.
Yeah.
I think the NBA just took steps recently to decriminalize it amongst players because it's so prevalent among NBA. I mean, a lot of athletes.
They haven't been testing for years.
Right, but you could get fined or suspended for it. And then, I think a lot about hockey players because they beat the crap out of each other every night, and then they turn to opiates or coke or alcohol.
Yeah,
and there's a strong movement in the NHL to make weed legal in that sport because it can treat players a lot. Riley Cote, man, that guy's an interesting dude, and his perspectives on marijuana are fascinating.
He made a whole cottage industry out of it.
When I go to a dispensary, almost always you will see people sitting in the waiting room. Sometimes you have to wait to get back.
Preston!
No. Well, actually, they do. Sometimes they welcome me like that. But you'll see people who clearly need pain management, and they're with canes and just look like they're there to get medicine.
I've told you this many times before, so I don't use pot. I have no desire to. However, in my own life, I've said this story about my mother battling the pain of cancer. She was in late stages of her life. The only thing that alleviated the pain at the end there was pot that we were able to get for her. So yes, absolutely, I can see that.
Well, it is indeed 4:20, and thank you for the calls. By the way, some that I didn't get to, one of them, Jessica, said she had a bartender and a bud tender at her wedding.
Wow.
She's going to.
She's going to. Oh, that's a pretty sweet deal. And Joe, who called in, he worked at a deli, and their phrase to go smoke weed was check the roof. Because apparently they'd go and I guess go up on the roof and get stoned and come back. So, but anyhow, indeed, it is 4:20. So. Thought a little discussion was warranted. What we're going to do is take a break, come back in a second, and have your first chance to win $1,000 in MMRBQ tickets. We'll get the bizarre file as well. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve
On 93.3 WMMR.
Kathy, so ladies and gentlemen, today we honor a man who has a very special way of speaking, of announcing his presence, and that is our boss, Bill Weston.
Yeah.
Today is Talk Like Bill Weston Day, and in honor of Talk Like Bill Weston, it's like Talk Like a Pirate Day. At some point, you might
think
go
it's better.
"Arr." You don't have to talk about it all day long, but if you do throw a little homage to Bill Weston, it's great. And in if you are interested in winning some great prizes and you think you do a pretty good Bill Weston impression, text Bill to 39333. Right now, we are going to randomly select people to play, and we're going to text you a line that you will have to read in conjunction with someone else. So we're going to have two people reading the same Bill Weston line in their best Bill Weston impression. We will vote amongst us here. We will pick a winner, and then we have prizes like Dave Chappelle tickets.
Which is amazing.
Casey, what all do we have to give away? And by the way, don't call.
Right.
Text Bill to 39333. We are going to text. We're going to randomly choose people through the text, and we're going to send you the line, and we're going to call you and get you on the air with us. So you don't have to dial us at all. Just text the word Bill to 39333. What all do we have to give away, Case?
Yeah, so in addition to the Chappelle tickets, which go on sale tomorrow, we also have tickets to go see Fantastic Beasts. As well, with that, the Philly Orchestra is performing Harry Potter at the Man in July. So we have, basically two pairs of tickets there.
And by the way, the Chappelle show is going to be Saturday, May 28th at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City.
We have Cases of Loverboy, which is that is a sparkling hard tea, and we also have the Batman. We got the Batman on digital.
Awesome.
The Batman.
He's like a bat.
All right, so text word Bill to 39333, and we will see if you've got what it takes to talk like the best in Bill Weston.
Would you explain the origin again? Because it was simply by happenstance.
Yeah, we were talking to actor Ed Begley Jr., who you know from Christopher Guest movies and all kinds of stuff, and he had used the phrase low-hanging fruit. That's one of Bill Bluesy ditty from our friend Eric Clapton on 93.3 WMMR. I'm Tore Down. Eric's going to be performing on the 13th at the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
That playing, that solo that he does in that song reminds me of Further On Up the Road from the Last Waltz Live, where he's trading back and forth with Robbie Robertson.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I haven't seen that in so long. Wow, it's a great movie. All right, we are in the midst of giving something away with our lesson question. We will give away to the winner a pair of tickets as MMR rocks John Oliver, Wednesday, December 31st. New Year's Eve show at the Met in Philly, and tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster, but you can win them if you can answer this question. According to Charlie Sheen, what kind of illness are Shih Tzus likely to get?
Forgot about that.
That was close to 7 o'clock this morning. According to Charlie Sheen, what kind of illness are Shih Tzus likely to get? You had to have heard it, all right? Charlie didn't actually say this.
No.
Not going to be able to look it up online or anything like that. 610-660-9333 is our number. Make sure you call now. While you're doing that, we'll do the trash, and we'll see if we can get a winner while we're into it.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by No Sad Brew, our new collaboration with 2SP Brewing, benefiting our Camp Out for Hunger. You can find it at any 2SP or Two Stones Pub location. Visit twostones.pub.com for a location near you. What's happening this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, former rapper and reality star Ray J is now hosting the TMZ After Dark bus tour of LA's hottest night spots. Ray J says he loves the new gig because it dovetails nicely with his other job, delivering for DoorDash.
Hey!
Actress Robin Wright says she's loving her recent move to England, saying she feels much more relaxed now. Wright says at first she was a bit nervous, but managed to quickly pick up the language.
Oh, my God.
And finally, speaking of nervous, the Bear star Jeremy Allen White admitting he was very nervous playing Bruce Springsteen in the new movie Deliver Me. I used to be able to speak from nowhere. White says singing like Bruce had him petrified until a vocal coach recommended he drink battery acid. And that's your Hollywood trash.
Going to the phones to get an answer to this question. According to Charlie Sheen, what kind of illness are Shih Tzus likely to get? And our caller is Rich, so we'll go to him. Hey, Rich, good morning.
Good morning, Eric.
Good morning to see you, Rich. All right, so what kind of illnesses are Shih Tzus likely to get?
Whooping cough.
Whooping cough. Hang on, buddy. Gonna give you those tickets to see John Oliver Wednesday, December 31st at the Met Philly. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster, so congratulations, my man. All right.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah. We're going to start with this. Radiohead has announced their first live shows in 7 years with 20 concerts across 5 European cities in November and December. The band will play multiple nights in Madrid, Bologna, Copenhagen, Berlin, and London, where they'll perform 4 consecutive shows at the O2 Arena. Their last performance was in Philadelphia.
Is that right?
August 1st, 2018, for their A Moon-Shaped Pool tour. Drummer Philip Selway explained that the band got together to rehearse last year just for the hell of it after their 7-year break. And he said it felt really good to reconnect with their musical identity and made them want to play shows again.
Well, this is on a separate note, but, with the Oasis reunion and all that, I had heard there were a couple of different theories as to why they reunited. One was Liam's divorces. I think maybe multiple divorces and
alimony to pay.
He had some money to pay. But the other one that I thought was a little bit more interesting is that apparently maybe the Gallagher's mother is ill, and this was her wish before she leaves this.
All right.
Yeah.
So you think that's why Radiohead's getting together?
No. But this is just on the heels of that, and I think Radiohead and Oasis are two of the biggest acts to come out of England in the last 30 years.
Has there been any contention amongst the members of Radiohead or something that I'm...
Not that I know.
Well, I mean, they haven't made music together or toured together in over 7 years.
Something has
I feel
to be
like
going
there's
on.
something going on. Yeah.
Selway added that while these are the only planned dates for now, he said, who knows where this will all lead. Tickets will only be available through registration at Radiohead.com to help them, to get them directly to fans to avoid touts and bots. What are touts?
Are they like third-party ticket services?
Maybe it says the word touts and bots. All right, well, anyhow.
I know nuts to butts.
Registration opens tomorrow and it closes on Sunday.
It's being dealt with by nuts to butts.
A tout is a ticket reseller who uses bots, automated software programs to rapidly buy up large quantities of tickets, blah, blah, blah. So maybe it's a British term?
Yeah, maybe. One last story. Coheed and Cambria will perform a special acoustic show at the Grammy Museum's downtown Los Angeles rooftop on September 23rd.
They're ripping us off.
Yeah, the evening celebrates the 20th anniversary of their landmark album, Good Apollo, I'm Burning, Star 4, Volume 1, From Fear Through the Eyes of Madness.
Yeah.
That's all
the title,
one
right?
title.
Yeah. Well, they have that big epic story going on.
Yep, it includes a Q&A discussion hosted by Matt Pinfield, who was the A&R for that particular album. The event will also discuss their latest release, The Father of Make-Believe, which is out now. Tickets go on sale September 6th, and additionally, the band released a new video for Goodbye Sunshine, which is the highest streaming song from the new album, and the video features behind-the-scenes footage from a reggae-inspired version of the same song that they released last month featuring Nick Hexum of 311. Yeah. And as a short music news, so we will wrap it up there.
But impactful.
The back-to-school A to Z continues as we're in the eyes. We'll take a quick break, come back with that, and then get ready to wrap up the program, so stay with us. And so afterwards, Nick had said, I didn't know today was Talk Like Bill Weston Day. And then immediately we said, well, we have to create that now. And so therefore we have done it. So April 21st is Talk Like Bill Weston Day.
There are countless arbitrary national this and that days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's no reason this should not be a national day.
The funny thing is it takes place on Dr. Mike's birthday, where we could clearly do a Talk Like Dr. Mike Day, too. Because all you have to do is talk like that.
Well, in a weird twist, the reason why we started saying privileged was because of our association with Dr. Mike.
That's true.
That's
weird. Let's share the origin of that for a moment, because we all have Dr. Mike is our doctor at Penn Medicine, and we were talking about, I don't know, just seeing Dr. Mike or whatever, and Bill told us that we should not talk about that often because it makes us seem privileged. And
Because we go to the doctor.
Because we go to the doctor. And so we thought that was hilarious. And so therefore, privilege became part of the vernacular.
And generated a very successful line of T-shirts.
Yes, it did.
I think because we were saying Penn Medicine, and it wasn't like, oh, we went to the doctor, because it was this big, I don't know, conglomerate. We sounded like we were privileged because we went to Penn Medicine.
Right. It was just one of those little Bill concerns.
It's okay.
And so
many of those are represented in these Billicisms.
Yep. So that was born. And then, obviously low-hanging fruit and third leg of the stool and the barn door and all these little things. Homyuncle.
The best part is that Bill now gets it. He'll come in and go, I actually do talk like that.
Right. Well, it's funny. He doesn't speak like that all the time.
Yeah.
But
it's greeting people.
Bill doesn't have the ability. You know how if I see you, Case, yo, dude, what's going on? What I mean? That's my delivery. Hey, man, how are you?
Yeah.
Or good morning or whatever it may be. Bill makes an entrance. He opens the door, and he usually does it like he almost kicks it open, like he'll open it very big. Morning show, people. And he does it that way, and then he settles into more normal,
very casual
conversation. Yeah, totally.
Good morning, everyone.
And it's great. It's hilarious. And sometimes
even he chuckles.
Sometimes it starts with, in our meeting, it starts with this, okay? And I have to. He comes in with his book, with his notebook, and he'll go like this.
Yeah. Totally.
Are we ready for the meeting? Like he'll slam stuff down on the desk. There's just something about, and it's great.
Yeah.
And it's not mean spirited.
Not at all.
It's just his and now time to get to work, people. It's like his indicator that we're beginning, or a slap like that.
Yeah.
He'll do some
How
kind
can
of.
he slap?
How can he slap? But anyhow, it's an endearing quality that Bill has. It's very funny, and we have fun with it.
The thing is, it's so similar to Ted Knight, and his delivery is very similar.
All right, so Talk Like Bill Weston Day. We're getting people on board to play Who Said It Beston. And we have sent the lines to you. All you have to do is text the word Bill to 39333, and we will randomly choose you and send you the lines, and you will have to say them against another person. So that's what we're going to do now. I don't know what they're going to say. Steve had written down these lines. They've been sent to him. I don't know which lines are going to be delivered to us, but I'm going to get two callers on the line. We're going to start with Steve. Hey, Steve, good morning to you.
Hi.
All right, Steve. You're going to be going against Brian. Let me get Brian on board. Brian, are you there?
All right. Hello.
Hello, Brian.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful. All right, so let's get started. First, we're going to have Steve read his line. Then we're going to have Brian read his line in their best Bill Weston. And then we'll take a vote amongst the five of us here in the studio and determine who our winner is. So, Steve, we're going to start with you. Give us your best Bill Weston.
Privileged. Not everyone has access to doctors.
All right. That was really good. Brian.
Because it's not. Yes. I'll explain after.
Brian, let's hear your delivery, please.
Privileged. Not everyone has access to doctors.
Okay.
You tried a different riff on it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Nick, who do you vote for?
The first guy.
And Kathy.
First guy.
Steve. Yep.
Steve.
It's unanimous. Steve's our winner. Sorry, Brian, we got to let you go. Steve, that was a wonderful Bill Weston, by the way.
Thank you.
And therefore, we have this prize for you.
Well, Steve, privilege. You just won yourself a pair of tickets to see Dave Chappelle.
Not
Isn't
everyone
he-
can make it to a Dave Chappelle show.
Isn't he in that awfully Billy Bob Thornton movie?
See, the thing is that you come out big with that privilege, and then you go.
Right.
All right, so the Chappelle show that you're going to go see, by the way, is going to be May 28th at the Hard Rock Live Edis Arena. That's in Atlantic City. And tickets for both Chappelle shows, which is May 28th and 29th, are going to go on sale this Friday. That's tomorrow. And all the details are at hardrockhotelatlanticcity.com.
This Chappelle show,
Got to go.
this Chappelle show came out of the blue. I didn't hear any, this is very cool.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're going to get two more callers on the line in just a second, and we will see what line they're going to deliver to us. So Marissa and Connor are now contacting the people that we have sent the texts to. They'll get them up a couple at a time, and we need to make sure this is coordinated so they have that they're saying the same
Well,
lines.
during the time, I'd like to give some advice on whittling, Preston. So that
whittling?
Yeah, the blade goes away from you as you're carving the wood.
All right, let me get our callers. We have Kenny that is there. Hey, Kenny.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, buddy?
Pretty
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, wonderful. Hang on. We're going to get you up against Brad. Hey, Brad, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Brad, we're doing our best Bill Weston. It's Talk Like Bill Weston Day. So, Brad, we're going to start with you. Give us your best Bill Weston line.
All right. Being local is the third leg of the stool.
All right. Being local is the third leg of the stool. Kenny, let's hear your Bill Weston.
For MMR, being local is the third leg of the stool.
All right. Casey, who are you going to vote for? Kenny or Brad went first?
Brad did go first. I'm going to give the slight edge to Brad there.
All right. Steve?
I'm going to slight edge to Brad.
How about Kathy?
Brad.
And Nick?
Brad.
Yeah, same here. Goes to
Hey, look at the big green on Brad.
All right. What do we have for Brad, please?
All right, Brad, you are... I'm not going to do the Bill Weston. You got a case of Loverboy. You might recall Loverboy from Bravo's hit reality series Summer House. Loverboy is a high-quality, low-calorie, zero-sugar sparkling hard tea, and you can enjoy Loverboy at Kellyanne's Bar and Grill, which is located at 1549 Spray Garden Street in Philly.
Some people call her Annabelle.
The funny thing is that Santa impersonation is almost like Bill trying to do an impersonation of himself.
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Because he starts to talk like this with a little bit of John Wayne.
Yeah. He's doing a wonderful riff on Santa Claus, and it does sound a little John Wayne-esque.
I can't believe that Bill doesn't like that because it's so funny. The comedy is like... I know it makes him cringe a little bit, but it's for me, that's the shining Bill Weston moment.
Yeah.
That call is the best.
That he does, listen, he knows he thinks I'm full of crap when I say that, but I think that's a big indicator that you call up your boss.
Ending our day and our contribution to today's Back to School A to Z with one of the all-time great songs ever. Mr. John Lennon and Imagine as we are in the eyes. It is 10:30 on this Thursday morning of the Preston and Steve Show. Coming to a close and an enjoyable day today. We certainly appreciated your contributions, and we're going to get back and do it again tomorrow. We'll be giving away our Word of the Week prize and stuff like that, but I would like to take this moment to thank the people that joined us today. We had on our program actor Cameron Douglas and actor David Morse.
Yeah.
So they both jumped on to talk about the new movie that they're in called Looking Through Water. It's this, father and son trying to repair their relationship, and they do it through fishing, through, the act of going out and fishing.
Obviously, we could have talked to David Morse quite a bit, but I forgot he was the dad in Contact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was so good.
He was great in that. Yep. So it's cool to have him on and Cameron as well. Then we had David Duchovny.
Yeah.
And David Duchovny, we straight up we didn't talk about anything but poetry with him.
We never mentioned the X-Files.
No.
But it was interesting.
Yeah, so he's got a book. It's called About Time, or as he said, it should be called About Time.
Yeah.
Poems. And it's available now. And it was a cool little conversation. It was very nice.
And then we had our little mini book club.
We did.
Yeah. See, we're smart.
I enjoyed that conversation.
We're smart, right?
So, yeah. All right, so we need to do the...
I can handle things. I'm smart.
The letter of the day. You ready, Case?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the President and Steve Show brought you today by the letter...
E as in E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
And tomorrow will be the last letter, and we will give away that Word of the Week prize. We have a 4-pack of VIP passes for Hoagie Throwdown, which is this Sunday. And by the way, if you're confused by the letters so far, don't worry about it.
We'll make it make
There
sense.
was a mistake yesterday, but...
Yeah, Casey turned his head.
When Pierre said the letter yesterday, I was like... Huh? And then I was like, should I jump in here?
Yeah.
Anybody listen, right? You guys know that I'm a train wreck, right?
Yeah.
And I can bring this show to a crashing halt, but I do sometimes go, okay, do I speak up? And sometimes I go, no, you should just shut up and let's just move on and we'll fix this in post.
It'll all work out.
So anyhow, we'll give it away tomorrow. You can cheer your way through the city's best hoagie creations and vote for your favorite while you eat like champ. Pro wrestlers actually going to be going head to head in the ring that night. Yes. So it's going to be at Other Half Brewing in Fishtown. VIP tickets include early entry at noon, premium merch, bonus hoagies, wrestler meet and greets, and more. And all tickets include samples of the 20-plus unique hoagies. First beer is free, chips and snacks and live entertainment all afternoon. Get tickets at deliciouscitypodcast.com.
That's 2 days in a row when we've been reading that copy where I've heard wrestler meat. And I'm thinking that there's some type of sandwich that involves meat made out of a wrestler.
That's good Hulk Hogan.
Wrestler meet and greet.
Yeah. It's just my brain interpreting it the wrong way, the entirely wrong way, but that's how I hear it.
It happens. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'. And the Preston and Steve Show, of course, runs on Dunkin'. And brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. Tomorrow on our program, I promise you, tomorrow, Sting and Shaggy.
Yes.
They have postponed 2 or 3 times, but we're supposed to talk to Sting and Shaggy tomorrow, so we'll see how that plays out. Also joining us, Rob, Mack, and Glenn Howerton of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They're going to be at the game tonight, and they're in town for a Four Walls bottle signing event Friday and Saturday, I believe.
2 of them.
So we're going to check in with those guys, see, hopefully they'll be feeling good after a win tonight. And it'll be all No Sad Bro tomorrow.
Yes.
As well. So that's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.